motto.
Exactly.
Welcome back. Boom.
Also,
Got you guys again, dude.
You did. You
Hey,
caught
I
me by
missed
surprise.
getting you guys. Welcome back, dude. NDL Weekly. Dude, it feels like forever. Not
It has
really,
been.
because we talk every day. But getting
I've actually
back
only
in front
been
of
here
the
for the last
camera.
2 weeks.
Yeah, you have disappeared. Where do you? So you go just. How do you take fantasy football out of your life? I really try to separate and spend more time with my family. I am unsuccessful.
uh-huh.
I do other things.
Like what? Like when you poop, what do you do? Like you're in the bathroom. Take me through this.
I'm
If
looking-
You're
I'm-
sitting there.
Doing golf. I'm watching golf, looking up
Unicorn.
golf stats, golf highlights.
Chatterbait live streaming.
Playing
Yeah.
miniature.
You know, miniature golf's much harder than it looks.
It is. It's true.
These children beat me. Yeah, well, okay, SF3. If you guys can think of any questions that we could go over or settings that we need to address, or I don't think we have much going on. I know the calendar says that we have to have rosters down to 300 by, check the calendar, is the only time I can remember. Do you guys remember what?
A week before the season starts.
Always a week before.
Last Thursday of August.
So what happens if they don't have it done by then?
$25 fine.
Per day?
Just a flat $25
Per
fine.
minute.
Oh, so can they?
You have to
Probably-
read the bylaws, I
Probably
believe.
can't submit a lineup though, right?
Do what?
You probably can't submit a lineup though, because your roster would be
No lineup,
Yeah.
no trading, can't do anything.
Yeah.
We had people actually get fined last year and think Zach was joking. And then he wasn't joking. I think I paid for them, but there was a fine posted.
No, you paid.
Those
you
two
paid one.
people.
You paid.
James and Mike. But I just kind of
I think I'm
You're
under
gonna
300
get
in all
back
mine.
to it.
I think I've managed to get under 300 in all mine.
I'm
And
And remember,
of the
you
league.
don't, no rush, right? Make moves. No need to shed or hurry trade.
No need
you know,
to
just to get it
bend
in.
over and take it from somebody
Mm-mm.
because you're over right now.
Which even though it's fun, you
No,
don't
there's
need to do
definitely,
it.
if you're over, you
But
need to get on your knees and take it. There's no other way.
Yeah. Yeah, you get to. I'm about to get over.
Just start dropping players.
Okay, so we're going to
You're
break
about to get
down.
over.
Yeah. SF3. We'll do SF3 first. We're going to do all the leagues. We'll do those just for funsies. This time, guys, I think we should post them in the message board or somewhere if
Not
someone wants to
fucking
log them.
done yet, bro.
But all the leagues, I thought only SF3 tonight.
Only
I'm only
SF3
Only
tonight.
SF3
I'm only doing
tonight.
SF3.
Yeah, but I don't have 7 hours.
So we should post these, post them in the message board per league, so we can go back and visit them, because we always think it'd be so great to revisit them, and then we don't because no one can find them. But yes, SF3.
It's true.
Besides Adrian, everyone feel okay about their roster?
Yeah,
I-
all right.
I actually really
Adrian.
like mine.
Yeah, I love my roster. It is not the same as thinking I'm high in power rankings.
Tell you what, I love my
So-
roster more than I love Kyle's roster.
Interesting.
Really?
You and I do not build rosters the same.
Adrian, that is silly business.
How you figure?
Because, well, and we'll go into it, but the no running back. Do you plan on competing this year, Kyle?
Me? Oh no. I almost never draft to compete year one.
I don't either. But then I was in
So
I'm
glad
in a
we're
league
the
with
same division.
I'm in a division with Earl and Tim, which was supposed to be a layup until Adrian decided he wanted to draft an award-winning team. And then I have a new guy, so I figured I might as well go for it. But
Go ahead. Sorry.
after you,
It's this is one of those rosters where I'm expecting to be bottom half, just before the season starts. But if something weird happens in the first 4
So
weeks, I
you're
might
about-
adjust. Because all I have to do is buy a running back, and half of them are cheap, and the other
don't
half are
trade.
overpriced.
You don't trade.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a few $3 running backs you could trade for.
Yeah,
He doesn't
You
trade.
do.
I
Hey,
remember.
J.K.
Hey.
Dobbins is gonna be on my trade trade list all year.
Hey, I have a couple inexpensive running backs.
I'm sure you
Can
do.
Can I fancy you in Jalen Warren, Zamir White, Kamara?
Kamara.
I got
Chuba
Whoa,
Hubbard
hold
for
on.
a
I
first?
have the
Chuba.
starting running back for Las Vegas already. Just
Hey,
just
did
to
you
put
get
that
me
out there.
Chuba, Zach?
Mhm.
That's been a guy I've been getting in best ball all the time. Good job. Good get on that one. I have one more. Comes
You got
peruse my
Ram, you have
wares.
Ram and Kamara. Those are your big ones.
Oh, and I really like Ramondre Stevenson. I was targeting him.
He's the only usable piece on that offense right now.
Whoa.
He's wonderful.
They drafted Polk.
Hulk's the silly
Okay.
goose.
He's gonna
Yeah.
return punts for them.
Yay, another Demario Douglas.
I'll be starting Brissett in the league.
Everyone remember
Actually, just kidding.
the auto accept trade block that Brian so graciously reminded us of. That is
I
a
love that.
very useful, very used tool. I love it. Hey, Pickle, did you think about our trade anymore?
I've done some thinking. I've done some looking.
Okay. Turtle Dex is your name. Thank you. Sorry, I just saw that. You have
Adrian,
done some thinking.
Adrian made a comment on it right away.
That was good. So the trade, just so everyone knows, is I was trading away my Ingram at $13 for his Kelsey at $29. If anyone does want to weigh in, feel free. We had a deal, and he was thinking about it. So I said, we can talk about it on the show if you want.
My question would be why?
Well, that was kind of so I reneged. I sent the
I
trade,
wasn't going to say that.
and then I like thought about it for 3 seconds, and I was like, I need to revoke that before he accepts it.
Yeah, I mean, if there's no other
He put
pieces
the trade. He put the
why?
trade in my mind. Like he just sent it. He was like, "Hey, what did you think about this?" And I was like, "Oh, Ingram's 5 years younger. That's not bad, and the extra cap space would be nice." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. It's not like I really need Kelsey, and I have Kittle, so it's not like." I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And I
So
sent
you
it.
need Kelsey.
Well, I sent it,
Yeah, you do.
and then I mean, Kittle's washed, but he has like 10 or 11 good weeks a year.
I just figured he's got Kittle and Kelsey, so it's eating up some pretty decent salary. Kittle's cheaper.
But you're fine on
I might
salary,
as
right?
well.
Yeah, I'm 18 below
Me?
cap.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody.
But I
is.
mean, I think
Everybody's
we're all fine. Yes, but little planning. And both Zach and I went into the draft not wanting to spend on tight end, but I figured I'm trying to upgrade my wide receiver room. But if I can, in theory, upgrade my tight end, then it might cost me less. But that's $16 extra for me, 16 for less for him to his salary. I thought that would be worth it, but honestly, projections are close enough.
Yeah, Ingram was actually the better tight end last year. He's a PPR.
I thought it.
We all know that, but
if you're competing, you got to go with Kelsey.
So
That's
is Kelsey. I mean, he had over 100 catches last year too. So I pulled it back because I was like, I don't need to make this move, and Kelsey has a safer floor.
Yeah, throw in a couple other pieces
and
make it
probably a
more
higher ceiling.
Personally, I wouldn't pay anymore. I'm paying Ingram and $16 in cap space.
Yeah,
for Kelsey. So
Cap isn't an issue.
to me, that's
not an issue now. It will be an issue
Well,
for
yeah,
many
yeah.
teams in January.
Next year, yeah.
You played an NDL before, right? And not just next year. What that cap space is doing is that is allowing you to go take assets and purchase another player. There's power in that. I mean, $16 is a lot of money.
Power. There's power in trading Kelsey to playoff team come.
Yeah,
You're not. I understand, but you're not getting nothing, right? You're already paying, in my opinion, you're already paying too much in your tight end room, which it makes me extremely happy seeing these robust tight end rooms, because in a salary cap league, that's gonna make a difference. Yeah. And I understand it's tight end premium, but it's not really that big of a premium for me. but I
It
did
is-
feel like I have some space so I could do it.
I feel like for your top tight ends and tight end premium, like what tight end premium does is it makes your top guys do way more. Your bottom guys still suck. The rich get richer for tight end
Yeah.
premium, in my opinion. So I don't mind spending a little bit. I think in my original projection, I had budgeted like $75 for tight end. And then when I got Kelsey
Wow.
when I got Kelsey for 29, I was like, okay, these people don't care about tight ends at all. I can knock that down to 50 or 40
Good job.
and reallocate that towards QB wide receiver. So mid draft, I was like, okay, that I got what I thought was the best tight end in the draft for this year for way less than I've seen him go in non-tight end premium leagues. So I was like, okay, nobody cares about tight ends. I can get another guy for cheap and without having to sacrifice anything in my mind.
What the tight end premium is doing is it's making a tight end a viable flex option. But I don't think at 1.5 it's really competing with the wide receivers that I want to start in the flex. But you have a high enough premium on it.
It's your tier ones, and
Your
then
tier-
everything
your tier
else is
ones
kind
are
of
still your tier ones become even. I mean, a guy like Travis Kelce, is a viable flex in every single league.
Yeah,
and
he
has
can get
been
more.
for the last
He can
8
get more
years.
receptions
Yeah.
than a lot of receivers.
Sam
I'm not-
Laporta
but
might
it's more-
still be the
but-
tight end one.
Yeah, certainly. I just
But
think
I think what
your top
Jason's
5
saying
guys.
is Kelsey at 29 he scored 275 last year, or a wide receiver that's going to score 240 for like $6.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
That's
the
it.
other thing is that sorry, my headset is almost dead. The other thing is that tight ends are much cheaper in this league because everyone's used to treating them like trash.
And not
So
everybody's going to
you're-
have a receiver at $6 that is going to score 240.
Yeah.
But tight ends aren't cheap in this thing.
I think
Those
they
higher
are.
They're
tight ends.
proportionately cheap. The tight end one is around $40. The wide receiver one is 60 to 70. And they like Lamb's gonna outscore Laporta almost for sure, but the value of a replacement is more or less the same. In fact, I would argue it's more for tight end versus, and there's a few teams that have multiple what we expect to be tight end ones.
I would say
So
it's
there's
less
gonna
for
be
tight
scarcity.
end because we only start one tight end.
Mhm.
Yeah, but you can start more than one. So like
You
your
can,
tight end
You
but
two,
won't at
you have to
1.5.
start 3 wide
No.
receivers.
Yeah.
yeah, you have a
That's
flex. No,
that's
you have
what's
two
so
flexes.
important.
No,
That's what's so important.
I'm with Kyle. You can start second one. I didn't draft George Kittle and Travis Kelce with the intent of starting both of them week in and week out. But I
Good.
took George Kittle at $14, who had
Well, that was a
200
happy accident in
who
general.
had 250 fantasy points last year. It was basically like, there's my $10 240 wide receiver that I need to plug in week to week if I have to.
That's exactly why I thought you would like to save $16, shed Kelsey, take Ingram that might compete with him as far as he's
Yeah.
projected to have more
Ingram
catches.
scored more than Kittle.
He did.
I
certainly.
thought, like, if there was anyone asking for more, I'd just respectfully say,
Probably not.
well, the $16 is more, right?
Yeah.
You're getting possibly a comparable in points guy and saving, guys, $16. That's a lot for not
is.
losing much production projected, right?
If you if you offered me that during the draft, like if we could have done that trade during the draft, I probably would have said, I'll take the extra 16 right now so that I can
And
bid
that's exactly
differently.
why
But we couldn't have done that anyway.
But I could have drafted him, right? I could have competed to draft him, but I wouldn't do that. And the only reason I could do that now is because I have Worthy on Taxi, and I
Yeah.
saved a little bit, right? Adonai on Taxi, Worthy on Taxi. So then I'm like, I wouldn't spend during the draft because I want more players, high quality players. But post draft, then I can go out and get a hammer at tight end. But for me, the tight end premium is 1.75 is where it gets interesting. 2 points for tight end, and Brian will understand this because I'm sipping the Kool-Aid and being indoctrinated by some other folks. But 2 tight ends or 2 PPR for tight ends, then you're saying, hey, I can prioritize a Ferguson because I can viably flex him. I can pay less for a Ferguson, in theory, unless it's too tight end, in theory again. But I can flex him, get 2 PPR, and he could compete with even a Mike Evans, right? Or a Pittman, and pay less typically. So that's where the tight end premium comes. It's for the lower guys. The high guys, those top tier, they're gonna do great. Tight end premium, no premium. When Ferguson, I can plug him into flex. That's where the power of the premium is. But I'm kind of talking myself out of taking Kelce.
Yeah, I say everything you're telling me.
But
You have no skin in the game to take Travis Kelce.
not any. Well,
No-
even
No
before
reason for you to even make that trade offer based on everything you just said.
You're right, but I wasn't going to renege. I was still going to take it. I'm on the ready every minute of the day for trades. So I saw it come in, and I was still thinking,
You know, if you ever quit your job, you need to go into psychology. That's all I got to say.
I'm in sales. It's basically the same thing. But
yes, yeah.
Yeah. But all right.
One other thing.
What do we got going on?
I will say I've never had Travis Kelce in a fantasy league. So
you're gonna enjoy it, brother.
Maybe I'll get it last year. Probably
got like 3 years left.
Hey, dude.
Maybe I don't know.
You're
I don't
gonna
know.
enjoy him.
Like,
you know what's gonna be fun?
Sure, I'll take him.
And
I'll keep him.
And Zach knows this because he's got to roster him a bunch. When all those guys have played, all your guys have played, and then Mahomes comes on Monday Night Football, and you have Kelce, and you need a bunch more points to win that week.
You need 30
and you're
points
just sitting back and you're thinking
touchdowns on 10 catches.
Probably gonna win.
Yeah.
And he's playing the Raiders. And it's just over.
Okay.
Renee wanted to chime in.
We can keep moving.
No.
That's it. Just no. Thanks, Renee. All right. Kyle, anything else on your mind?
Fuck, I had something. There was something
you were
that
gonna
was
say something.
Oh no, I just finished up my rankings, but
how about you're getting married?
Yeah. When
are you getting married?
Next year, October.
You just got engaged.
Oh yeah, I did say it in chat. We just got engaged like 3 weeks ago.
Congratulations,
Yay.
man.
Yay, exciting.
Congratulations.
Six and a half years in the making.
I think
what is it?
Married, so congrats. It's a good time.
What goes on in your mind when you're like 4 years? We're just 5 years, 6 years? Is it because how old are you?
32. Almost 33.
Oh, well.
Wow. You got one foot in the grave and the other on a banana peel, brother.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
I thought you were much younger. It's that boyish charm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I got the cheeks.
I thought you were in their mid to late 20s.
No,
My wife called you a young pup today, Mitch.
Oh, me a young pup?
He is a young. Hey, Mitch, your Facebook picture. I think it's Facebook. It is adorable. I am into it.
I haven't.
Well, I'll tell you what it is.
It's adorable.
You're staring at the camera, very pickle-like, and she's kissing you on the cheek, and I can't get enough of it. I'm very much. In fact, I'm gonna make it the thumbnail for next week because I love it.
I love it.
All right, we good?
We're good.
All right, let's start with the AFC. What do you think, AFC?
I don't have any info on AFC. I get tunnel vision into my conference sometimes. So
I agree. I think the Chiefs are the strongest team on both sides.
So we're just gonna start in the AFC.
Oh
West.
fuck! Wait, let's start at the. Are we doing 12-1 or are we doing divisional?
Hey, do you have Zach also as the number one?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I have him handily.
Yeah.
Zach, do you have you as number one?
I didn't do rankings. I didn't have time. I told you.
Oh my
okay.
God, what a slacker, dude.
Did you do division or did you not do anything? You're here to be pretty?
I'm here for
moral
peanut gallery
basking it in. He's sucking himself off.
Yeah.
All right, so check it out. Let's do AFC North. It's on the screen there. NFC North. So you guys did division winners. Very fun. Pickle. Yeah. Did you do AFC?
No.
Why would you? Right?
Why would I? Exactly.
Why would you? Kyle, did you do anything useful?
So okay, I looked at them last week and had
Okay.
mental settings. I just wrote them all out with like things that I like about their team. So I have actual rankings.
Okay, so check it out. Adrian, did you do anything today?
I got division winners and
You know what, brother? I can always count on you. Always count on
There's
you.
bad
I
timing
got
for
this.
me.
Got this for everyone else. This
Number
is
one.
Bad timing for
I
me.
have
got
my
it.
rankings
I got an
here.
NFC, bro.
you got okay. Pickle, I
I did my
swear to God,
conference.
this is
Hold on.
this
I
is
do
the
gonna-
same
we're
show
gonna see
you've
it
been
real
on
quick.
for
Fuck
years
you.
now.
I have real rankings.
Okay,
I guess
so
we do both.
let's
conferences
start.
and the other ones.
This is what we're gonna do. Adrian, buckle up, buddy. We're gonna go 12-1. Okay,
Do it.
how about that?
Yeah.
Number 12,
Adrian?
Kyle.
Overall in AFC?
I swear to God,
Well, you changed it. It was divisional before.
it was, dude, until Zach did nothing, and Pickle decided he just ghosted the entire AFC.
I told you
Yeah.
beforehand I wouldn't have time.
Well,
You
regardless, I
did,
have
but
rankings.
you know what? I live with hope. Okay.
Let's
I have
let's
missed
hear
it.
y'all's
It's a
rankings
shame.
12-1, and then I'll chime in with my division winners.
Hey Renee, whip up some power rankings and hop on this show.
I've missed this mess. Don't.
No, it's
No.
complicated enough.
No.
Stop.
I'm kicking Pickle off.
No.
All right,
All right. You know what? I got rankings. Here we go. I'm ready.
Yeah,
nice. Hey,
What's
you
your
know what,
12?
Pickle? You don't usually
Looks
do
like it's the
your
Bengals.
league until we hit record anyway. So, Adrian,
Do it this way.
stand by.
That's better.
Kyle, hit me with number 12. Who's the worst?
AFC is
Want to say it at
Ravens.
the same time? Ravens.
Ravens.
Hey, he was in contention for last too. Luke. Luke.
So I actually tiered them. The bottom tier is a
Zachy.
group of 4 teams.
Zachy, pull up Ravens.
They're right there.
We're gonna quickly go through. Okay, like the first day of training camp. I know, Brian. Hey, Brian, you're a lover, and I appreciate you. Okay, you want to see what a bad team is? Zoom in on Luke's team. Okay, if you've eaten, don't look. If you have an empty stomach, just focus in on this. That's what a bad team looks like. But it's okay. He's got Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud, building blocks. Gibbs spent 44 on Gibbs. That's interesting.
Ooh.
Marvin Harrison Jr. Love it.
What's wrong?
Kincaid.
Wait, hold on. Just real quick. What's wrong with
Okay.
44 on Gibbs?
That's a lot.
He's
That is-
the running back 3 on my board.
Those are big numbers, brother. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
All
I
in a
can get
start
RB
9.
20 for the same.
It's the hero RB
wide-
strat. I don't
wide
mind it.
receiver.
I don't
Wide
hate it.
receiver
Did-
20.
Have I not told you that I also have Jalen Warren at like $1? Give me Jalen Warren at $1. Zamir White.
Wait
ever
till we
heard of
get to
him?
Kyle's running backs at one to
Yeah,
three.
let's talk about my running backs. Yeah.
Your running back room, Green Bay got a zero. A zero.
Yeah,
on my
that makes
chart.
sense. That's as low as it goes. I definitely had the worst running back room in the league.
That adds up.
There are some gross running back rooms that got a 1. No one earned a 0 on my chart.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, except for me.
Green Bay.
Let's go, baby.
Green Bay. No other zeros. Wow, overachiever. Okay, Luke, it sucks bad. Okay, but that's okay.
It's not
because
great.
you know Ash, and Ash is very good at this game.
Yeah, he will
Okay?
bend you
What
over.
I would do is I would have Ash draft your team for SF4.
I literally said
Okay.
that.
You
Okay.
went hard. You went hard on 5 players, and then you were like, "Okay, I've got $15 left to draft
So-
the other 16."
I'm just going to go to lunch.
The tiebreaker in this team, I think he wildly overpaid for Jaden Daniels. I think Marvin Harrison is the most overpriced player in this draft, and
Probably
he
so.
somehow managed to draft like studs and duds, but he didn't leave any room for making moves later. So like when he finds out that 1 player at each
Mhm.
role, 2 if Jaden Daniels hits, like there's still no room to make to make moves. So he has to sell one of his studs to make room. Like it's a disaster.
And we're not gonna do a deep dive on every team. Obviously, it would be a long show. But when it's this bad,
It's not
we
great.
really want to pile on
It's not great,
and
Bob.
make him respond and be active in chat.
Shout
So
out to Brian.
All I got to say is FOMO is real. That's all there's to
Yeah,
it.
not great.
Luke, I
you
gotta say,
are
FOMO, and
a
then
liar.
and then
Adrian?
you realize you don't have
A
money.
professional liar.
he said FOMO is real. It's not.
Oh,
No,
I
that's
thought
true.
he said he's always
FOMO's real.
Yeah.
Hey, FOMO is
FOMO's
real.
real.
These auctions, bro. You know,
Gotta be patient.
You know how bad it is. 2 years
Oh my
ago. Oh shoot, not 2 years ago. Let me rewind. 6 years ago when we did JB. Was it JB? No, it was G. No, JB. JB or
was 6 years
GA. Zach,
ago.
what did we do first? GA or JB? Zach.
GA was first.
Swear to God. Is that Sarah? Sarah?
Kid. It was one of his kids.
Oh, kid.
Focus.
Nah.
GA was the year before JB.
He was so bent. It was GA. He was so bent about his draft that he said, "F it. I'm doing it. I'm starting a whole nother league." So yes.
And then I sucked in that
Oh, you
league
did.
again too.
Yeah, but you kept winning during the seasons, which was the most bizarre thing. Okay, Luke, really feel bad for your team, but you got some great pieces. Jaden Daniels, you should drop and win him back for cheaper because I bet you would win him.
Yeah,
I
60 is
You won't.
expensive.
rookies and these startup auction drafts are wildly overdrafted, overvalued.
They are.
Wildly overvalued.
I thought NFC did a lot better with the rookies. I think
It's still
AFC was absurd with rookies. It was obnoxious. It was bad.
He does have Pearsall at $2,
Yeah.
which
Nice
was
little taxi stash. I'd hang on to him.
That
that's a good one.
That must have been an end of the draft thing because
that was an end of the draft
was.
thing. It's all
Yeah.
the early the highly hyped rookies that are wildly overpaid.
Marvin Harrison and Jaden Daniels for 116.
I think
Am I getting my
anytime
math
you
wrong?
get
Yeah.
over $30 for a rookie who hasn't proven anything, no matter how hyped
Mhm.
they are,
Mhm.
you're overpaying.
I'm with Zach. On that.
I disagree to an extent.
You are
I
gonna.
mean, it's tough to
He's
blanket
winning
it.
You're gonna miss
I think
out on some players.
okay. Here's
You're
a
gonna-
here's a
you're gonna
good here's
miss
a
out with
a,
that
sh- a
strategy,
short
but-
list. A short list. Jonathan Taylor, Bijan Robinson, CeeDee Lamb. Okay. Jamar Chase. We'll add Jamar Chase in there. Those are guys that I would think can go up for more than 30 when they're rookies.
But you wouldn't know.
Marvin
I think
Harrison
there are
is on that
Pre-draft?
list.
I mean, that's easy to say
Yeah.
when we know
I-
what they are now.
Yeah.
no. I would have happily put more than 30 on them in a startup for their rookie year. But I will say there are multiple
Marvin
in this
Harrison's on
league.
that list.
Yeah, Marvin Harris is one of them. I don't think 50 or more is worth any rookie. It may be Caleb because he's like everyone.
I
He's
still think
supposed
it's
to be the thing.
too much.
That's where I'm at.
For Caleb too. Yeah.
All right. What's your team number 11?
Hey, I got Caleb for
Or
like
what do you have?
$56.
Yeah, I think that's
don't
fine.
think-
I almost
that's
wanted to
fine.
go for him. Almost.
Are you
I had no
consensus?
idea I even won him. I didn't even know I won him until like multiple players later,
I think you and I were bidding on +1 on him, and then I just stopped, and you won him.
and I thought I lost. I don't know. The MFL is a little wonky sometimes, but okay.
Oh yeah.
Adrian,
Are y'all
who would
consensus
you say
12?
is number? What's that?
Are y'all consensus 12 is Baltimore? Both of you?
More or less.
No, I have Adrian as I have both of you tied at 12.5. But I liked Luke's quarterbacks better, I think is what it was. Jane Daniels and CJ Stroud. And then you are Chargers. You have kind of a hodgepodge of stinkers. Fields and Lawrence, Bo Nix and Aaron Rodgers, Bryce Young. You got them. This is definitely an Adrian quarterback room.
That's we're gonna throw darts at the board and hope one of them hits a bullseye.
I don't know. One of those
That-
guys is going to be pretty solid, and
Lawrence and
Well,
Rodgers?
Lawrence, I think should be just fine.
then between
I think so
Rodgers
too.
and- Between Rodgers and Young, you can be.
We are all assuming Rodgers is going to even be half of what he was before.
Oh, he'll be. I mean, he's going to be.
I assume
he's going to be better than
Yeah.
at least 12 other quarterbacks in the league. I would say. I don't know if I could comfortably say he's a top half, but I see him right in that 16 to 20.
I think he's
I
fine.
don't see any problem with him.
He's the check down king at this point, which is high value play.
His
High
IQ,
probability.
bro.
I
His
think-
football IQ is so much better than basically every other quarterback.
We
I
have to
don't-
see if he can make the throws still. That's the thing.
The throws are
He
the
was-
deeper throws, but intermediate and short throw. I mean, bro, look at what Manning did his whole career. His whole career, he lived off the dink and move the chains, bro. Move the chain.
Well,
Did you-
after
think
he
had
lost
one of
Marvin
the-
Harrison, he was a move the chains guy.
So
We
I'm
had-
a
And
little.
he was always kind of like that. He'd throw it downfield, but I mean, this guy he'd keep that clock running. You keep that clock running. You either run the ball or you just dink and dunk and keep that clock running. He was so smart. That's all he's got to do. Anyway, Adrian,
I'm a little disappointed you have us both at 12-5.
I think Adrian's team
Well-
is markedly better.
Yeah. He has one running
Okay.
back
Like definitively better
and one
Then
receiver.
Ravens?
definitively better.
than
Okay,
the Ravens.
so
Yeah,
we're going to
I
be
agree.
definitively okay. So
Yeah.
so we got $22 on Knicks. I don't like
What
it.
does that mean?
I like 15. I
He's
like
not my starter.
$15. But we're so I mean,
Our ranking is
if I'm
player,
spending
not
22,
He's
No,
Jason's ranking the rooms, which includes
based on
salary.
salary.
That it's
It-
not
it's,
just on
it's-
salary. Salary is part of the equation.
yeah. So I look at
So
I
if Bo
look
Nix
at a Knicks.
becomes a starter,
Those
$22 is not a bad salary.
If he becomes a starter, I think
If,
it's a
right.
huge if.
Okay, counter argument. Why the fuck are we putting Will Levis at $23 if we're complaining about Bo Nix?
I don't like that. I don't like. I don't want any dollars on Will Levis more than a few.
Same.
Or as
But it's going to happen.
one
More than
handful.
zero. I will leave him on waivers.
So what
You're
I do
welcome.
is I also look at it like Bo Nix 22, Kirk Cousins 21. Well, Baker 18.
You can't look at
Those
that.
are the type of things that
That's
You can't really look
Can we-
at that
Can
because
we
not-
go
it's
to
not-
the Chargers
not-
team real quick?
not
Zach?
ranking his team. That's ranking his the
because
value of a certain player.
Kirk
I
Cousins,
understand.
Kirk Cousins at
I
$21
understand.
towards the end of the
And
draft.
I don't have much going into
Yeah.
the salary and this and that, but it's a consideration because you're gonna have some big fat problems if he's not doing well. You've got
I'm not.
$22
They can
tied
dump
up
him.
on your fifth quarterback.
And I got
I think
that makes-
$270 in
That
salary.
makes moves really, really tough. Or you have to trade him
Not at
for
all.
I
I don't agree.
think
don't
this
agree.
is fine. I would prefer Bo Nix on Taxi, but I don't with his situation. I think it's fine.
him on Taxi. I wouldn't even flinch because
Yeah.
it's a Taxi guy. They're
didn't
jokes.
I mean, it was I didn't bid $22 right off the bat for him. And
Najee Harris, Zach Moss, Brian
Oh,
Robinson,
fucking Najee.
Devin Singletary.
I-
Your running back room got a 2 out of 5.
really,
And halves
I-
count.
I would give that a 2 out of 5.
I
I give
would-
a 3. I give a 3 out of 5 to your quarterback, to your wide receiver room that is going to be Nico Collins, Gabe Davis, Jalen Hyatt, Puka, Reynolds, Worthy. So your 3 in a start 3 wide receiver room is Collins, Puka, Worthy. I love Collins, Puka. I love it. Raging hard for it. But I'm not trying to have Worthy as my number 3, and then you got no one behind that.
Yeah.
That's scary. And then you got Laporta and Gesicki, which I gave you a 4 for your tight end room. And you don't have a tight end 2, in my opinion.
It
Gesicki,
should.
he's a player.
He
Yes.
has Keon Coleman too, so that could be probably a promote if he's competing.
And Keon Coleman helped me get to 3.
And Roman Wilson. And don't sleep on Bub
No,
Beans.
Roman Wilson is a bust.
I just wanted to say
Roman Wilson's a cute little stash, and hopefully he does something. His saving grace is he's on Pittsburgh and their magicianry in the wide receiver room. But
So
Keon Coleman helped me.
I actually have Chargers at 10.
Okay, but
Okay,
they're
so-
both. I mean, like, I'm not saying this team is gonna
Like that.
light the league on fire. I just think it's definitely better than 12, and I think
But
just by
he
nature
said
of the fact-
11.
Yeah, well, sorry, there was some,
You got
there was some
Jaden Dan-
11 and a half.
There was some
He's got him
semantic-
tied at 12. His
Yeah.
ranking is 12
Yeah.
and a half points.
there was just some semantics about like definitely better than Ravens, and it felt like the conversation. was
This
saying,
is
like,
a
I don't
tier
know
up.
if he is.
Oh no,
the
not that.
Ravens.
You said marketably better than
Yeah.
Chargers.
Yeah,
I mean
like Ravens.
Markedly.
Like I was saying, like it's
Ravens.
clearly the 11th best team.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I give a lot of credit to the quarterback room. Jaden Daniels and Stroud, bro, that could win some weeks right there. Jaden Daniels, I like
Look at
it.
Aaron Rodgers and Lawrence.
Or Aaron Rodgers and Lawrence can't hold a candle to Stroud, and Stroud every week.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised
think-
if Stroud beats those two, or almost does.
All right.
No,
Okay.
he probably won't.
I
I
have
wouldn't be
mixed.
surprised.
I'm a
Who do
Texas
we have
homer,
at
but
10?
still.
I have
Well,
Pittsburgh.
are we okay? Whatever.
Pittsburgh, who is John.
Interesting.
John, I really wanted to rank you higher because I root for you in life forever. But Tyler Higbee and Musgrave, brother, I'm flaccid. Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Musgrave's playing he's playing the split tight end role.
Listen, I don't want to hear shit about Musgrave. Okay, I want to like him. I'm not hopeful. I have Joe, the super optimist. He paid a first for Musgrave. He's out. He said he's not startable. He said hopefully he's your number 2. That your first one passed away and you can't afford anything else, and then you're starting him and just sending prayers. You don't even believe in God and you're sending prayers.
I have the Steelers at 3.
You are dumb.
Are you serious?
You're a dumb
I
person.
have the Steelers at 3.
I haven't.
Adrian?
I don't know about that one, Kyle.
Adrian. Kyle?
Yeah.
Kyle,
That's a
let's
stretch,
go over this.
bro.
He's going to be starting Kyler. Okay, his quarterback room's fine. Carr, Cousins, Kyler,
Okay.
Russ Wilson.
Next, let's go to running
Perfectly
backs.
fine. Pittsburgh. I gave him a 4.5.
He's got the
I'm
second
in.
best running
I'm
back
into it.
group in the conference.
I gave him a 5 in the running
Who?
back room. Brooks, Eckler, ETN, Chuba, Aaron Jones, CMC.
And he's got
Amazing.
never mind, that's a different team.
That's a gorgeous
gave
running
him-
back room.
It's a great running back room.
I gave him a 3.
Keep
for
going.
AJ
What
Brown.
do the wide receivers look like? Keep going.
Well, they're not. It's not great, Kyle.
it's pretty
AJ
good.
You shut up.
AJ
It's
Brown and
AJ
Christian Kirk. That's it.
Well,
Hey, AJ,
JSN.
and then we
I
got
think
Jacoby
JSN,
Myers. Raiders haven't even solidified their QB1 right now. It's not looking great, guys.
Well,
we
I'm
don't
not.
know who's better than O'Connell.
You got to remember,
I'm just
Kyle
saying.
loves
I'm
Shakir.
just saying. Khalil
I
Shakir
understand.
is the possession
Let me
receiver.
finish.
JSN.
Let me
Okay, go
finish.
ahead.
Let me finish these treats. AJ Brown, Christian Kirk. Okay, I'm into it. That's fine. I drafted AJ Brown. He's a goodie. But then we got Myers. Okay. Khalif Shakur.
He's going to be playing the
He's
who do I
fine.
start? Myers, Shakir, JSN, or Thielen every week.
He
And
will get it wrong.
I'm going to start the wrong guy, and the other guy on the bench blows up.
Yeah. This team is going to make him want to quit fantasy. That's what's going to happen.
Maybe.
Because he's
I
got
think
a
it's a great
decent
team.
I swear to
He's
God.
not going to know which one to, because he's only going to start 3 wide receivers with all those running backs.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, I like JSN, but we paid $7 for him, so that's how much we
he's-
like him.
I think we overcorrected on JSN from last year.
JSN
Oh, really?
going for
Yeah.
7
Hey,
had more to do with
Do we overcorrect on
where he was-
QJ?
No,
Yeah, how about you? Jay?
JSN was injured in preseason. So aside from him being behind Lockett and DK, he also missed a lot of what normally brings rookies up to speed.
Collectively,
Okay.
all of us nerds we're voting with our draft button in Underdog. We're voting with our auction accept bid thinger in the auctions. We spent $7. That's how much we believe in him. So we spent $7. And then we
He's
have
more
Adam
expensive in
Thielen
NFC.
That's more to
and
do with
he's
when he was
It's
nominated.
because Pickle. It's because
That's-
Pickle been on him.
Has more to do with when he was nominated. Because certain
Okay.
players would go for
Thank you,
$1
Pickle.
or $2. Like
I agree.
if he was the first nominee off the board, he'd go for over 20.
He was
Don't worry, he
15,
also has Michael
and
Wilson.
you saved for him, Pickle, too. You saved for
I
him
did.
late in the draft.
I
Yeah.
did.
So
I knew who
I agree. 20 is probably the max, but he could have gone for more. Anyway,
JSN?
it's a moot point.
Did I pay
Yeah.
20 for him?
JSN.
Oh,
You paid 15.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
I'd be fine with 15 too. I wouldn't be fine as soon as I'm staring at my roster thinking, holy F, I'm going to need to really make some decisions. I'm going to need to trade him. That's what I would be doing right now. Pickle, if you want to trade him, I'll give you a third. Then he's got Adam Thielen. And I like Michael Wilson. I'm into it. He's got the stack with Kyler. Then we got Higbee and Musgrave. Don't worry, we got Troy Franklin on there.
This is
stack him with your Bo Nix.
Say it.
This
Kyle.
is what a zero tight end looks
Yes,
like.
yes.
This is zero tight end.
No, this is not zero
horrible.
tight end. This
Yes,
is
it is.
No, this is an unsuccessful zero tight end.
Yes, I think
Okay,
Schultz
thank you.
and Ferguson are both ranked higher than Musgrave for me. So
Schultz
I
and
would
Ferguson. Does
both.
someone have? Are you saying someone's rostering them?
It's me.
Zach is.
Zach has both of them and claimed to
That
go.
is an outstandingly successful
Yeah.
hunting tight end.
This is a failed zero tight end, and that's his
This
only
is a-
weakness in my
okay,
opinion.
We have tight ends in this
He-
league. That's
He
what that
has
is.
no tight end. Like,
That's correct.
if he gets 5 points a week out of Musgrave, that's just amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
we accidentally,
Musgrave is a poor man's Jimmy Graham. It's gonna be 1 week he gets a touchdown, and then all of a sudden he's a tight end 6, and then every other week
Jimmy
he's
Graham
like tight
was
end 20.
amazing.
So
Well,
he's like George Kittle.
poor man, very very poor,
Okay.
poverty, really poor, super
Okay.
poor.
Creepers.
I love hearing.
Okay, so
Should we change
Okay.
this pod to just AFC if we're gonna go this slow?
Oh, fuck, you're right.
number
Well,
9.
Jay, hold on. Jay took over. Hold on. We need to. Everyone needs to do their number. We'll only talk about the highlights. Jay, stop talking about your your split up
I
points.
gave them a 4. And I gave him a 3.5.
Anyways, Steelers is 3 for me. My 11 is actually the Jaguars.
I bet that's Jay's.
I have Jaguars at 4.
No, it's my brother.
We just flip flop. Okay, listen. I'm gonna recap. I got Adrian, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. Okay.
Adrian's last. Oh yeah, they're tied. Okay.
Okay, Kyle, you got the last
Mine
3
is-
are
Ravens, Jags, Chargers. And
okay.
I will say Chargers has a better team now, but Jaguars has a higher ceiling across the next 3 years.
Okay, no one cares.
Really like
Adrian.
the Jags team.
Yes.
Adrian,
Yes.
your bottom 3. Can you decipher from your division? No. Sweet.
No.
All right. Number 9.
After you're
Kyle?
done, I'll tell you.
Fucking
I'll
guy.
tell you division winners and wild card.
Oh,
My
I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
very fun.
my
Okay.
my 9. This was 4 for you. I love it. He's gonna be very happy with that. My 9 is Broncos.
I don't want to tell you the number, but it's a 15.5. Okay, I know that isn't referring and
That's a 3.
relative to anything.
One
Okay.
quarterback.
You have Jags at 9.
Well, hold on. What
Any
real
highlight
quick?
on there?
I think he has no quarterback 2.
Jags.
His
What?
Sorry, where are we going?
Broncos.
Oh, Broncos. I was like, Jags definitely have 2 quarterbacks.
Broncos
Yeah.
is who I have at 9.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, we match
They
up
both
on
have
that.
Broncos at 9.
Better than mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Broncos have
He's got better wide receivers too.
That's true.
I would take Broncos over you, Adrian.
And
Yeah,
It's close.
I'm
I'm pretty
uncommonly
strong
high on
Giants people,
Bowers.
You're uncommonly high.
Yeah, well, he's a Raider,
Yeah.
so I am out. Oh,
He's my dynasty tight end 1 already.
I don't think that's
I'm gonna
uncommon.
enjoy him on Sundays if I watch football, but I don't watch
Everyone talked shit when I drafted him for 24 in NFC.
Yeah, because
because that was far too high.
Yeah.
That's
So
why.
I think
28.
I think it was a deal.
people were
I think
saying
it was
Michael
really cheap.
Mayer was going to be like this amazing guy last year, and he buns. Anybody on the
Yeah.
Raiders? Anybody on the Raiders?
They're
Trash.
different players entirely. Anyways,
I feel like it's the fat conversation, Pickle. You can only talk about fat people if you're fat. You can't bash the Raiders if you're not a Raiders fan, okay? Because it just hurts my feelings. So I have
Oh, I can
Denver at
bash the
9.
Raiders.
I think they got his back.
Zachary. Okay, who's at 8? I got Cleveland.
8 for me is Titans.
Titans. Not bad. I got him at
This
6.
one's a little
what do you-
spicy.
Okay.
This is a
I
tier up
didn't-
from their other teams.
I got a middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Say
6
one
and 8
thing
are
about the
basically the
Titans.
same.
He's
Say
got
one thing about the Titans.
stud and dud running backs and no tight end. This might even be worse than the previous one.
Yeah, that's pretty
All
bad.
right, fine. I
I'd
have
rather have
3.
Otten than Musgrave.
It's a potato tomato. It's to each their own. It's
Okay,
whichever one you
That's all
prefer.
But
we're-
yeah, they're both not great.
CJ, you suck. So the Cleveland David also you suck. So that's
Is that
okay
7?
because you can trade. I got him
That's-
at 8. Okay?
Oh, I have him at
Eight.
7.
But I have him clustered at a 13.5 with 3 teams, and I've already said the other 2 teams that were in the 13.5. David, it's okay. Good try. You did better than Zach, his first one that I was in. So 7, I have Jason K. I'm sorry, Jason. I'm gonna go ahead and say one thing about it. I'm gonna make it up right now. His quarterback room is sus. I think that's what the kids are saying. It's super sus. Will
Raiders?
Levis for
Okay, yeah.
11. I don't
Yeah.
mind it. But McCarthy at 20, when I don't believe the team is ready to start him, I'm a little nervous. Okay. I don't have anyone but Trey Benson on taxi. I'll just say that. I'm a little nervous about your quarterback room.
And if
Also,
AR
Anthony
can't stay
Richardson.
healthy because he hasn't proven he can,
I could actually knock him
Yeah.
down.
I'm a little nervous, Jason. Number 6, I got Tennessee. You already said something about Tennessee. Who's your number 6, Kyle?
My 6 is, am I counting right? Is the Texans. I think my 6 is probably
Okay.
the Raiders. Now that you pointed that out, that's a good point. It is fragile
Okay.
at quarterback.
Fragile quarterback. 6, I got Tennessee. I got 5, I have Houston. You want to say something about Braxton's team?
Yes, I think it's solid with the exception that he has nothing on his bench for running back. Nothing, unless he
Yeah,
promotes. But
that's a little tricky. I will
Yeah.
say, Braxton, you're like pretty balanced.
Yep.
I got a pretty balanced score across your positions. I am pretty nervous about you only have James Conner and Alvin Kamara. You do have Blake Corum on your taxi. I don't know if that means anything. It might. Let's say it does. It's still pretty sussy. Okay.
Fun little tidbit: Goddard and Njoku are owned on the same roster in both conferences. Just a fun little thing.
Hey.
Yeah.
Cute.
Carry on.
Okay. Now number 4. Did you say your number 5? I said Braxton, Houston.
I flip flopped. It's 6 Raiders, 5 Texans now for me. I had them flipped before.
Fun. I got 4 ranked Jags. Ryan V. You already spoke about the Jags. Who's your 4?
My 4 is Colts.
Oh, Roy. Okay.
Yeah,
Roy,
I think it's
you
a
want
good
to say
team.
anything about Roy? I got him at 2.
Yeah, it's well rounded. It could be higher, but that's just where I got him.
His quarterback room is a little suspect too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop saying suspect. Justin Herbert and Watson, as you guys know, I got a thing for Watson as like an underdog type situation. But Herbert, I mean, will they run more now that he might be a little hampered? I don't know, but that's all he's got too. So we got a little bit of a shaky quarterback room, in my opinion, right now, as far as putting up points each week and beating your opponent's quarterback room. But no quarterback 3 makes it a little bit worse. I don't mind having 2 stud quarterbacks, and that's it. I love it. I'm fine with it.
The quarterbacks are shaky.
Yeah, that's the only thing. But I got Roy at number 2. You got him at 3?
4.
You got him at 4. I got Jags at 4. My 3 is Zach with a C, maybe the correct way to spell it. Cincinnati, I'll say a little something. You must have Cincinnati ranked right at maybe 2.
Yes.
So Cincinnati, I'll say a little something. Cincinnati, very good quarterback room. He's got Allen and Jackson. I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah.
Wait, he also has Brees Hall and Pacheco. Jerome Ford and Chase Brown.
Yep.
Oh, God, it's good. Freiermuth and Kmet is his weaker spot, but even with a weaker tight end room, It's pretty solid all the
Komet
way
was
around.
cited
No,
10, I believe, last year. So.
Yeah, and
I
with
know,
an
but he
with
really
an improved quarterback, I think Fryermuth is going to have a good year too, a bounce back at least.
I agree.
I need him
I-
to. I need him
Me
to
too.
because I have him in a couple of leagues.
A
Me
few.
too. And Komet, if I'm not wrong, he really came on at the end of the year. It was an end of the year situation. I
No,
think.
it was
Huh?
not just the end of
No,
the
It
year.
was all.
Yeah.
It was
It was
all.
kind of
year.
all over. Yeah. No,
he
you're right.
was very spiky.
The
He's-
problem is
okay.
the Fields syndrome. So what happens with Caleb with
Ah.
3 actual wide receivers?
Okay.
Komet was really good for Fields because he was just huge.
Safety blanket, yeah.
You just kind of chuck
Yeah.
it down in his direction, and
But I'm not considering him the tight end 1 on this team. I think it's Fryermuth for me. But anyways, it's not terrible. It's not a 0
Weapons.
tight end build.
Sure.
Komet's not the tight end 1 on the Bears, and I was like, wow, that's
No, on his team. On his team.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
I love
mean,
this guy. You've never heard of him, but he's gonna pop off.
I can't wait to hear who is.
Let me look
Who do
him
you
up real
have at
quick.
2, Kyle?
I have. Well, hold on. We need to
it must be
rewind just a
Zach.
little bit. I have the Steelers at 3.
Okay, that's dumb.
We talked about that earlier. I have the Bengals at 2, and Zach at 1. The Chiefs at 1.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have Zach handily at 1.
Zach is a tier above the
I'm
rest
gonna-
of the pack.
I'm going to speak on his team just real quick. If you want to say anything, I'll make it fast and quick. Burrow and Tua, love it. And he
Gino
has
as
Gino
a quarterback
for
3.
$6.
Yeah, that's how
Dude,
you
I
play
would've-
Gino.
Fucking love. Dude, that right there, I swear, I'm going to have no problem starting him
Yeah,
against
what was?
like halfway decent defenses where I know they're going to have to be throwing, but they're not like super shut down corners. I might start him over Tua on some weeks, and
Yeah.
that might be hot takey, but
No.
I like Gino pretty handily. And then he's got Kyron, JT,
Yeah.
Swift, and James Cook.
Well, hold on. We can get
Bro.
rid of Swift. Swift isn't even the running back 1 on that team. But yes, best running
Bro.
back in the AFC.
I only said Swift to hide that the 4th one was even better
Yeah.
in James Cook. Then we
good.
got Ayuk, Hollywood, Debo, Garrett Wilson. I love it. That's perfectly fine. I would love to have maybe Ayuk be the Ayuk in San Francisco.
Yeah.
That's going to maybe take a hit a little bit if he's going somewhere else that's not going to pepper him. But honestly, he didn't get peppered in San Francisco either. Just or killer efficient. Then Ferguson and Dalton. I don't even know what else to say. You got Polk
Yeah,
on
this is good.
taxi at $3. Jalen McMillan. I like both of them. McMillan, I
Estime.
think, could be really good.
It's a-
Estime, I don't really have a feeling about right now. Taking him a lot an underdog as like round 18.
He's a
but
hammer. But
good.
it's a decent taxi squad for
Somebody you
what
could
it
get
is.
for a third
He's
rounder.
5'11",
Yeah, exactly.
227 pounds.
Now you know what I'm
That's
talking
what we
about.
like.
I got you.
Say it again.
I
I
said,
said, he know Pickle knows what I'm talking about.
I said somebody you could get for a third rounder.
That's that third rounder we like.
Yeah, buddy.
And he's got $9 to spare, which $9, that's going to be great waiver spending. $9 is all you need, man.
Yep.
Any more is gluttony. But $9 means you're actually fielding a really great team and you can shop waivers. So good team.
It's a good
I
team.
mean, we beat the S right out of you, Zach, when you draft a shitty team, and you've done it a couple times. But your last
I
two
think-
drafts, well played.
To
Thanks.
tease for the NFC, I think the Chiefs is a tier above the rest of the AFC. I think it's better than all the NFC teams. I don't think it's a tier above the best NFC teams.
Well said. Adrian,
Me
hit
too.
me with your divisions.
Okay, so AFC North, I have Cincy first, Pittsburgh second, Cleveland third, Baltimore fourth. I have Cincy winning the division. AFC South, I have the Titans winning the division. It's actually a tough division. It's real tough. It's
Mhm.
hard to tell.
It
but
is. I have.
I'm just above the Texans. Now, the way I looked at these is it's start 10. So I picked out the starting 10 and compared the starting 10 to the other team starting 10. So that's how I did it. So I didn't look at individual
Wow.
players. So
That's some
so
good
I'm
homework.
looking at team to team. So
Okay.
in the West, I have Zach first. I got Jason Case second. I got me third, and then the Broncos. So, but I have the wild card coming out of the AFC West with Zach and Jason K.
Jason K
Okay.
will be the wild card.
I don't mind you being ahead of the Broncos. I think you guys are in the same tier for me.
Sure.
Okay.
It's more fun to fart around with Adrian because he's got
Starting
some
one
killer teams.
one quarterback. It's just I don't know.
Who's
now,
starting
like I
one
said,
quarterback? Denver?
Denver, yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
have another quarterback.
He's got Brissett.
Maybe
Brissett's going to start
Brissett,
all year.
Yeah,
It's shaky. I don't disagree.
Broncos.
but
What did
I
do?
based it off like I said, start 10.
You can make the playoffs in these leagues with one quarterback, but you need him to be a stud.
Right.
all year.
Yeah, you know what?
Or you just
makes a lot
need
of
him to
sense.
be above average, and the rest of your team is just insanely good.
Yeah, and
That's
like I
the only
said,
way
I
it's-
based it all at a start 10.
No,
And
I
then
Aaron
no,
Jason
I
Taylor
Rodgers-
another 10. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers was the worst quarterback out of all available quarterbacks last year. He had negative points.
Hit 4 attempts,
Rod, is this?
and he fumbled on a torn Achilles.
Did he fumble? What an idiot!
Yeah, what an
okay.
idiot.
Pickle, your turn to shine, my friend. Give me your 12th. How did you do it? First of all, fuck's sake.
I'll give you my 12th here.
Okay,
Go,
good.
baby. It's time to shine, pick.
Pickle, you're a treat. Let's see how.
My 12th is Kyle.
That makes
Packers.
sense.
The Packers.
That makes sense.
Not bad.
I
Not bad. Kyle.
think he's got some really good things. I don't think the team is complete enough to actually compete.
I'll full disclosure, I was not drafting to compete this year.
Yeah, I just
Here's
we're
the-
looking at
that was very obvious.
Kinda
Very
common
obvious
denominator.
during the
Win-
draft.
I have
right
way
now-
too many rookies to compete.
win right now. I don't think this team has a chance.
No shot. I agree.
I don't think it's a bad
Hey,
team.
I don't think it's the
think-
worst team in the NFC.
I don't
It
know
is,
if Kyle
so-
likes competing.
No,
That's all.
no, it's
Has
not.
he
I
ever
have you.
competed in any of the leagues?
Yeah, every year in JV and it gets snuffed at the final hour.
What have you've made
have
the
a killer
playoffs in
team.
JV before?
Yeah, like 3 times, and usually it's either I miss the bye and I get knocked out in wild card, or I get the bye and then I have some sort of bullshit bye or injury and I get knocked out in the first week I play. And then the other years, Adrian, or it was before Joe joined, it was the other team that wasn't John, knocked me out a couple times. It was the CMC ride where I had no flexibility in my roster.
But at least you got to trade CMC to me. So
Yep.
I'm glad Jason has no flexibility on his roster.
Yeah.
I really don't.
It's rough.
I do have a
That's
couple picks
rough.
right now.
Yeah.
All right.
So
back
I
on track.
have. So Jacob. I mean, I have Jacob as 12th.
That would be
What is
my,
Jacob?
that would be my 11. The Cardinals.
Jacob's Arizona.
Okay.
So I'll speak briefly on Arizona. It's Patrick Mahomes, Will Levis, Gardner Minshew, Bo Nix. That's not the worst ever, but $100 Mahomes is. I have no choice but to take that into account a little bit.
So
But
that
that's not
blew
even
my
the
mind
worst.
because it went from like 80
Yeah, he just
straight
dropped.
to 100.
He just dropped a C note.
Bro,
on
I
it.
don't even think it got.
No, it was like it was right around 80, and it
does
went from
got-
80 straight to 100.
Yeah, it was like 81, 82 or something, and he's just like,
That was the big
So-
mistake.
You know what happened? Someone made a joke about it getting to 100, and then he just dropped it
Well,
immediately.
I
You know
joked
what's
before the
funny?
draft about 120 Mahomes.
All right, here's what's worse. I think Mahomes for 100 is less egregious than Levis for 23. I think that is fucking absurd.
Hey, that's actually a
Disgusting.
really great point.
Yeah.
What's funny is he's the one that joked about $100 Mahomes.
Oh,
And
is he?
then
Okay.
Mahomes was nominated, and then he won. That's how unless I got the voices
Okay.
mixed up, but
I'm
I
not
think
sure.
he joked about that after too. Like
Because I think
wasn't- I
the
wasn't kidding.
Cardinals and the Bucks were very vocal all draft, and I couldn't make sense of which one was
If
which.
he just would have plus won that, he probably would have won Mahomes at like 85,
Like
86.
85, yeah.
I could see that.
Also, he made the same mistake with Bo Nix, and he does not have him on taxi. So we'll just call that out. I don't mind it. I think Levis is the egregious one here, but yeah.
Is this
I
guy
think so too.
How did Jacob get into the leagues? This was his first one, right?
This is his first one. Yeah, he was the last minute replacement for the guy that I don't remember his name, that we couldn't get him to pay, and then he paid, and then I saw like a week before the 2 weeks before the draft that he got his payment refunded somehow. And then he wouldn't answer any DMs.
So I think Jacob just made some like first time mistakes, and I don't know. I feel like
he
obvious he's not done a lot of auctions.
he's never done a league like this.
Hello, girls.
So
You want to say hi real quick?
Hello.
hello.
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hey, yeah,
we can hear you.
I don't know if he can hear us.
Oh, hey. Okay. You want to say goodnight?
Good night. Good
Night.
Night.
Right.
Hey, Kyle,
Sounds a little more excited, Zach. Damn.
Kyle, if you could not scream the F word this time, that'd be super great.
I will not. I promise.
Thanks so much. But all right, girls. All right, I'm gonna go on mute for just a sec. Yeah, okay.
I just think Jacob made just somebody who's not familiar with the league.
It's just rookie mistakes. Yeah.
He's got some interesting pieces that he could maybe do some moves with. This looks painfully like some of my early teams, and I sucked.
So McCaffrey for 40 is going to carry his roster, almost for sure. He's got Cooper Kupp, he's got DK,
He's got Derrick Henry.
he's got Derrick Henry.
I don't think his team's that bad. He's got A-Chain.
He's got nobody at tight end.
That's the hurting one. Yeah.
I'm not sold on Achan running a whole
He's
season.
also literally at 300 cap. He has no room.
He's got a couple of
Well, he's got Sinnott not on taxi.
And same with
John
I guess Theo Johnson.
He's got $9.
Yeah, he's got
$10.
Okay, yeah.
And the Kamani running back.
But someone needs to tell him that he needs to do that because you can't. It's gonna be Vidal is
he doesn't even have his contracts done. So.
Oh yeah, he was asking about how to do that.
It is NFC.
So
I have him at 8 personally.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think his team's that bad.
I don't know if we went over it, but my 12 is the Bears. I think they're dog shit. I think. Oh, hopefully he's deaf. Oh yeah, his headset back in. Yeah, I think the Bears are trash. Terrible. He paid 30. This is just as bad as Will Levis. $39 for Bryce Young is egregious.
I think that's a bad price.
I think you could be mistaken, especially with their new coach.
Wait, where did you rank Chicago?
I have it 12.
Chicago?
Yeah.
I think it's mainly because of the quarterback room.
Yeah.
And that could be one of the worst, in my opinion, one of the worst quarterback rooms.
It's terrible. He doesn't even have a quarterback one. He's got 2 quarterbacks that are like low quarterback twos.
Yeah, I have him. I have not a great running quarterback room for sure.
I admit the running backs are awesome. Maybe the best in the NFC.
I mean, he should be starting 4 running backs every week, and they could score him 130 points each week.
He's got great tight ends, and he has no wiggle room at wide receiver.
Yeah, I have him.
At the 3.
I have him third.
I don't think you can have him that high with those.
There's no way.
Wow.
ETN.
It's his
Bijan,
quarterback.
No. Let's talk about quarterbacks. What did you rank on quarterbacks?
3.
No, come on, stop it. So you have
Jason is way too high on Watson.
You have no team.
I think that's my issue. I also do like Bryce Young. Now 39, I cut him down.
Dude,
that could be a little.
For me, this is the worst team at quarterback out of all 24 teams.
I'd be surprised if either.
And
the
it's easy to
quarterback
say,
No,
you know,
we just saw
it's easy to
Denver
say
have
now.
one quarterback.
Yeah,
Peyton
but it's a
Manning
good
sucked his
quarterback.
first year.
Every other team that has a bad quarterback room has one stud quarterback, or they
Yeah,
have
well-
5 startable quarterbacks.
I have no choice but to put him no lower than 4th.
Oh,
I think Bryce
disgusting.
Young has a good year this year.
So what about the wide receivers? You knocked other teams for having no depth. This
Bryce-
team has no top 12 wide receiver, unless you count Higgins. I disagree, and they have no depth.
Devontae Adams, T. Higgins, Jaden Reed,
That's
Curtis Samuel.
No.
Curtis Samuel, whether we want it or not, is the second pass catcher, and
So okay,
Kincaid is probably the first. I don't even know.
Kincaid. Then
who's
I
their
would
wide
put
receiver one. Who's their
Coleman
wide
and
receiver one?
Shakir. Coleman and then Shakir,
Oh,
He's
and
got
then
McBride and
Samuel.
Pitts. He's got McBride
Did
and
you-
Pitts he can throw in there too.
Did you
Yeah.
see his pass attempts last year? Now I don't know what that was all about, but he loved. Now I know his arm. I get it. I know he can pass deep. I get it. But their scheme, if it's anything like it was last year, we should be pretty nervous. And then Curtis Samuel is going to be quite usable.
I
Well-
don't disagree. I think he's a very startable wide receiver. I would not consider him a wide receiver 2 until we
Well,
see
I
him.
don't think he's a wide receiver on his team. You said?
No. Wide receiver 2 in terms of like top 24.
Oh no, I don't even. I'm talking about this team's wide receiver 4, and I'm pretty happy with him as a flex. He won't even need to flex him because he's got ETN, Mixon, Bijan, JT. That right there is pretty potent with Trey McBride, who I think is probably my tight end 1.
So
And then Kyle Pitts.
So
And
here's
I
the
like
problem with
Likely.
Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel is a bye week starter. He will have 2 buys with his starters on week 10, and he can't use it as a bye week starter on week 12. So
I
it is
understand.
a useless pickup, in my opinion.
So I think what sways me too is I know Jordan, and I know how he will run his team. So
We're not doing how we run teams. If we're doing how we run teams, I'm in last place.
You are in
we
last
don't.
place.
We definitely don't. But I'm not even factoring Curtis Samuel in as anything more than his wide receiver 4. But Jaden Reed, I'm quite high on. T. Higgins, I can't quit him. Devontae Adams, he's just going to get so many targets. So he's going to be starting Deshaun Watson, Bryce Young. Okay. Those can in NDL can all finish top 30 overall players. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised, and none of you should either if you know the scoring. So
But
then
when he's up against top 10 quarterbacks every week.
I
All right,
agree,
let's-
but look at his running back room is gonna beat everyone he goes up against. So we have to say that in the same breath.
His
His
2
tight end
quarterbacks.
his tight end room is gonna beat most everyone each week. Okay, so his wide
Okay,
receiver room
so
is going to be just fine. I would like a
To
hammer
be
in there.
fair, with siding with Jason, let's not forget my team and JB had no quarterbacks 2 years
It was
ago.
shit for years. Oh,
No,
yeah.
2 years ago had no quarterbacks the entire season, and I almost made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, almost making the playoffs though, and being ranked 3rd preseason overall is a little.
Yeah, but making the playoffs
I'm just saying, like,
is top 5 pickle. The top
He's
5.
also 6th against the cap, so he has no room to make moves for another wide receiver. He's gonna have to trade one of his stud either tight ends or running backs.
If he wants to contend, he needs to lose a running back for a wide receiver. Or
I wouldn't be surprised if he makes playoffs, but I think his ceiling is like 5th place. I don't think he's gonna.
That's making the playoffs, and with no trade deadline, we're solid.
That's his ceiling. That's his ceiling for me.
And this doesn't super duper matter, but all of his buys are week 10 or later, which means like when he needs to be winning games, his people that are going to be getting him points are going to be unavailable.
Those are divisional games.
So if he doesn't win a lot in the first 8 weeks, I don't think he has a chance. He's got to be 7-1 or 6-2.
When does
going
playoffs?
into week 9.
10, 11, and 12 are playoff, or not playoff,
No,
are
divisional.
divisional games.
Those are like some of the most important games of the entire
Week
season.
13,
Yeah, I lose every
for this year. Week 13 is week 1 of playoffs. Nobody plays week 14.
Zach, can you please repeat that? The divisional
Oh, I
games
love that,
are week
actually.
what?
Divisional games every year 1,
Uh-huh.
2, 3, 10, 11, 12.
10, 11, 12. Okay.
So he's missing all his QBs. He's missing
That's going to be rough.
He's missing 3 of his running backs.
That's going to be rough.
I mean, like, he's going to lose weeks 10, 11, and 12.
Right, but that's in the power rankings conversation, that's as relevant as, saying Bryce Young at 39, right? Relevant, sure. Not really for power rankings. It's talkable, sure, right? We got to, speak on it.
There's a double standard going on here.
But
There
Jason,
is.
if he can't win the division,
he's going to
he
lose.
can't be ranked 4th overall.
Or he can't be ranked in the top half.
Well, first of all, he's got Kyle in his division, so there's a win. And then Pickles got a.
You say that, but
we'll talk about my team.
Hold on.
Oh, I was mostly kidding, but I will say the
Anyway,
Packers. I have the Packers, Kyle, at
week
10.
11.
Are you guys on 10 yet?
We talked about.
I also have me at 10. Nice job.
Okay. So what's going to hurt you is you've got a potent quarterback tandem with Prescott and Anthony Richardson if you're planning to punt, because those two are going to win you some weeks alone when they're scoring 40 each. When you're getting 80 out of your quarterback room, you might not, and that's not even like an amazing week.
If we're talking about my team, I am not tanking. I am not competing this year. So I'm expecting somewhere between like 104 to maybe 107. Like that's the range I'm looking for. Because you're right. The players that I do have that aren't rookies and aren't trash, they're good players. Dak Prescott.
You're going to score enough points that you're not going to be the 101, 102, 103.
Exactly. So I'm not worried about that though.
But you're not going to need a 101, 102 type of player to turn the team around.
Exactly. I literally just need time and one running back, probably 2.
That's why I said I don't think your team is bad.
Yeah. But if we're doing power rankings for this year, I think it's trash. I think it's a bottom 3 team, maybe 4. But
bottom 3 is just fine because got a good wide receiver room, you got a good tight end room, and I gave you a 5 for quarterback room. So I would try harder to tank because you're not going to want to finish 104.
He can't.
If you're not making the playoffs, you're going to.
He's not.
I'm probably gonna sit on this team. I'll probably do some trades, but I won't try to tank at all because I will be ecstatic with this exact same roster 12 months from now.
To tank, he'll have to trade out a bunch of guys that he wants to keep for the future.
I'm with you.
I did this on purpose.
Which is why I couldn't tank in JB a few of those years because I was just stacked at running back and wide receiver. Could not tank.
Yeah, they weren't showing up at the same time for you.
You gave him a 5. You gave him a 5.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I don't think you were trying to punt during the draft. Not how you were talking. You were trying to scoop up some running backs, but you were kind of out of cash.
Yes.
You were you wanted to compete, but it didn't work out. And it's also like a 1B type situation. You're like, I like my team. I'll punt. But Pickle, what were you going to say?
You gave him a 5 for Dak and Anthony Richardson in his QB room. But when talking about the AFC, we talked about Richardson as like not somebody you want as one of your 2 starters because he's just reliable.
But who was his? It
was the Raiders. It was the Raiders.
It was JJ was quarterback 2 and Levis was quarterback 3.
That's why
he has no other QBs.
Yeah.
But like we were talking about Richardson earlier in the pod as like somebody that you don't know.
I said we don't know if he can be healthy. That came from me.
It was a consensus statement, though.
Well, my thing was this: when you're walking into the week with Richardson, McCarthy, and Levis, that's where I gave his his score a 3.5 out of 5. Not horrible, but McCarthy, I don't plan on him starting.
Okay, sorry, I thought you gave that.
He's not planning.
I thought you gave that a much lower than 3.
And Will Levis just lost Nuke. So, and it's it's Tennessee, so it could be fine, but I'm not really super happy, going in with my QB2 Levis,
I'm
personally.
I'm grasping at straws with running backs. I think I have one of, probably not the strongest, but I have one of the strongest wide receiver rooms in the conference, and I'm very happy with my tight ends. And I have an almost full taxi squad.
It's good. You honestly deal a couple of those wide receivers, and you're moving up major time
Yeah.
slots.
I think that's what he
I-
talked about in the draft. Is if he ends up stumbling into a bunch of wins, where he's able to, he's all right. Well, I should compete. I'll trade. I need to get a running back. I'll trade one of these good wide receivers to get a running back.
You could even trade. I mean, you could trade T.J. Hawkinson and a taxi player and get a running back and not take a hit at all.
I have a lot of flexibility with this roster. I don't disagree that it's a shit team as is for the power rankings. I agree with that. I have myself at 10. So, but
Hey,
that's where I'm at.
look at my running backs. You're not going to get Wood, but it's going to be someone who you can say
sky high.
What's that?
I got you sky high. Your team is great.
All right, let's go. Who
Yeah,
who
let's
we got
keep
at
do we
going.
have at 9?
Nine.
Or what number are we on?
Let's go to 11.
Pickle, or Kyle or
Let's go to
Pickle.
11.
All right, 11.
I don't know. We did 11.
11.
We did 11. We talked
No,
about
incorrect. Well, okay. Let's just real quick. Mine is the Falcons. Okay, moving on.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Really?
No, it's not. Kyle,
it is.
that
It really is.
I have the
is
I have
incorrect.
I have a bone to pick with Marvin Harrison being $50 or more. It's a bad build.
I think
No.
the
You're
Falcons,
betting so much. It's a
Pickle.
different
I think the Falcons have a pretty solid team.
neighbors at 34 is a totally different conversation.
Pickle.
I was like, what happened? Oh.
Pickle.
I'm just saying.
Hey, you can't count that against him.
Yes, you can.
First of all,
Yes, you can.
Power
it's
rankings.
Marvin Harrison. Guys.
Okay.
By
Anyway,
guys, I mean Kyle.
we know
Pickle.
Kyle is off. I think in that same division, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Dan
Thank you,
has a bad
Okay.
team. Right now.
Kyle. What the hell?
The team is
I got the
way
Bucks
worse.
at 5.
Yes, I got Arizona at 12. I got Tampa Bay at 11. Kyle, I mean Pickle, say a little something about Tampa Bay. We love Dan.
You got one quarterback. You have no running backs.
One.
That's not
quarterback
true. He's
is
got
good.
3 starting quarterbacks.
You got one quarterback.
I like
Who's
Gino.
the one quarterback?
I don't
I
think,
say he's got 0 quarterbacks.
I don't think Chase,
Damn.
Jefferson, and Wilson
You
are
know,
gonna,
I guys, you guys know I
are
don't
going to
like
carry this. team.
Bitter.
I don't think there's. I just don't think those 3 guys are going to carry it. I think you're going to find you're
He
really
is
close to winning a lot of games.
dire hurt, almost, in my opinion, hurting as bad as Kyle at running back. Almost.
Oh, yeah, no running back
Right.
at all.
Oh no, it's
Brian
not.
Robinson might surprise. He might be a top 12 running back
That's
this
why
year.
like
it's
Brian Robinson.
almost as bad, because I think Brian Robinson puts him over what you have.
I
gave
do
him
think
a
the
1.
rest of it is trash. I think it's a he's gonna have to start at a 0-point RB every week.
I would much rather have your running back room with the hope that one of those or 2 of those guys pans out in the future than
Also has Trey Benson.
I see what Adrian's getting at. Like
I don't
Geno,
count Trey
Geno,
Benson as anything.
Geno Smith is a good. I take it back. Geno Smith is a good QB2, but with no running backs and
2
no tight
seconds.
and no
One
tight
running
end.
back.
He
One
has
running
the
back, and
best
he can make
wide
it.
receiver core in the league.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
I'm not gonna argue that. He does.
Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, BTJ, Garrett Wilson. Got
But
it. Yeah, that's
didn't-
good.
Phenomenal. That's great.
Wasn't that? Is it this similar to what was it Braxton or Jake had in
Jake did
SF2 last
They do
year?
this in SF2, and it doesn't work.
Joe too.
Joe.
You have to move one of those wide receivers.
Yeah.
You have to split it up into 2 players or try and
Well,
get.
he's got to get another running back.
I
Yeah.
could probably
So
bring
that's
him
good.
down.
You
I
gotta-
Well,
think 5 is
he's-
probably high, but
I just
He
don't
needs a
think-
running back and tier down wide receiver.
You had Atlanta.
Yep.
Way down there in Tampa Bay at 5. Okay. Pickle. Who do you got at 10?
I kind of had Kyle, Tampa Bay, and the Cardinals kind of all just hanging out in those bottom 3, 12, 11, 10.
Okay, me
Pick
too.
Pick your order. I don't think any of
Exactly.
them are going to contend this year.
Arizona, Tampa Bay, Green Bay at 10 is what I have. Who you got at 10, Kyle? Hey,
Green Bay.
Adrian, you're still
Yeah.
doing your divisional deal, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Green Bay's at 10.
I had all 3
Green
of those
Bay's at 10,
teams
okay.
as 4th in their division as well. Like I ranked them divisionally and throughout, and I just think they're the 4 worst teams for this year.
What's at 9?
Who's your 9th then?
Me? Cards.
Pickle, you said the last
Oh.
4. So who's your 9?
9th, I'd probably go with Earl at
Okay.
Seattle, and that would just be because of QB uncertainty. I don't. If you don't have a good QB room, I just don't see you being a legitimate contender. You look at all the
It's
teams.
Purdy and nobody else.
You look at
Yeah,
all the
Purdy and
teams
McCarthy.
the
Yeah.
teams that
He
consistently
has-
win year over year.
The rest
that's-
of his
that's
team
almost-
is very strong.
Almost all of them have
Yeah.
2 stud QBs, and I don't think you can bank on Brooks and Blake Corum to carry that running back room with Saquon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I like a lot of those players. I like Laporta and Kincaid. That's phenomenal. But if JJ doesn't hit and Jake Browning puts up another 200 points this year, you're not gonna. I just don't think you can contend in a super flex league.
Here's the counter
No,
argument.
you're making sense.
I think that his running back room is sneaky strong because if Jonathan Brooks comes on, like anything close to what Todd Gurley did in his rookie year, he's going to have a very strong running back core. And we know his wide receivers and tight ends are amazing. So
Well, he may
he's
not even
one more quarterback away.
I just have a hard
for the
time.
first 4 weeks.
Yeah, I have a hard time saying if
That was Gurley. Gurley came back week 3. He didn't play week 1 and 2, and he only had 7 touches in week 3.
It's just very anecdotal. And for a guy that's never seen an NFL field to say, if this guy hits, his team could be really good. I just think it's hard to give them a super high ranking on that. I'm not saying you're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. Like, yeah, obviously if Jonathan Brooks is like a stud, that does change things. But as it stands right now, I just have a hard time giving that guy higher than like a 7, 8, or 9 rating out of 12.
We're doing the same thing. We're giving MHJ the seal of approval, and we're saying, oh, he's a rookie. We don't know what he does on an NFL field. He can't count from anything.
I agree with you on MHJ. I haven't disagreed with you on that. I think it's ridiculous
Okay.
to rate rookies as absurdly good before they've actually touched NFL grass.
Oh,
So
yeah.
then who do you have, Kyle, at 9?
I have the cards. Cards at 9.
God,
And it's the Mahomes issue.
It's the Mahomes and McCaffrey. Like,
Well, he's the last. He's easily last for me.
Who's your 9, Jason?
he's gonna win some weeks that he has no business winning because Mahomes and McCaffrey and like the stars are just gonna align and he's gonna pop off against somebody he should.
But
lose.
he's got Theo Johnson,
I think
Michael
he's terrible.
Mayer,
I think
and
it's-
Sinat.
I know. I think it's a terrible team, but like he'll have at least one win this week against a really good team.
He will win
Because
weeks.
Mahomes,
You're right.
and McCaffrey.
Zach, I have Renee, Carolina. I'll speak
And
on
I-
it for just a sec. She got a 14. Carolina, no tight ends. We got Greg Dulcich,
Talk about
and
tight end 0.
Tucker Kraft.
Yeah.
But I mean, her wide receivers are solid. Amon-Ra, Puka, London, Deontay, Kirk.
Yeah.
That's solid. I gave her a 5 in her wide receiver room, and her quarterbacks are great too. Kirk, Cousins, Jared Goff, Lawrence. It's not great. It's perfectly fine. But we got also, Kyron, Javonte Williams, Raheem Mostert. That's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough running back room.
Here is the problem with NFC for tight ends. We had 5 teams that drafted multiple tight end ones.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So 0 tight end looks a little different in NFC than it does in AFC.
But this isn't.
Which does mean if you're not playing one of those teams with the big tight ends, it's not going to matter as much because you have a bunch of crappy tight ends going against each other. So they're either going to equal out or one's going to dud and the other one's going to get like 4 points.
And same on the other end, you get 2 teams with top tight ends going against each other. It just completely cancels out.
And we have to stop calling that 0 tight end.
Yeah.
That's just having 0 tight ends.
Yep.
Going 0 tight end is
It's
you
like
know,
it's
hunting
like the
and
zero
getting
running
value
back
at
where
the
you
end.
don't draft a running back in the first 3 rounds and redraft.
Right.
You get really strong at wide receiver, and then you get value at your running back.
Your tight ends is, going zero tight end is trying to then later rounds getting the ranked 10th, 11th, and 12th tight end. But she just didn't get any. Now this is Renee, and she's going to field a good team.
She's gonna do a lot of trading, or
She's
try
gonna.
to.
I'm surprised she has. I tried to trade with her. She gave it a thought. I sent her 2 firsts for Puka, 2 firsts and a
So
little wide receiver.
You don't
I
think
had
Dulcich is starting?
What's that?
You don't think Dulcich
I do.
is starting?
Dulcich.
I
It doesn't
do.
matter if he's starting.
I agree.
There are plenty of guys that start in the league that are nobodies at tight end.
But he looked promising last year, so you can't say that
Did
she
he?
doesn't
He
have
scored
a
7
tight end.
points, bro. When did he look good?
You're talking
He
year
got hurt.
before. I think the year before he
got
got
hurt.
400, and
He
did.
was hurt all last year.
As a rookie,
Right,
400
Here
yards.
is the problem.
Adrian meant 2
Sean
years ago.
Payton, his guy is Adam Troutman. Will we see Greg Dulcich at all?
Yes.
You'll see
Yes.
him.
Okay.
That he's their starting tight end. It's not Troutman. Troutman was a
It's
super
a Mayer,
hard
and at best, it's a budget Mayer and Bowers situation.
I have Renee ranked a little
Mhm.
higher than you because her QB room is very strong.
I think it's
sure.
I-
No, I don't.
Like those are not.
But you can only start 2 though.
Yeah, but I think
So it's not. It's
having
This
Kirk
quarterback
and-
room runs into the same situation we talked earlier. Can only start 2, and it's going to
One of
be
those-
okay. This guy's my lock. Now, who do I start of these 2 guys? And you
one
start
of
the wrong
those
one.
guys. It's going to be Lawrence and Goff for at least the first 6 weeks until Kirk
Yep.
gets back on the field. And
Till we see
no,
something
Kirk's
from
on the
Kirk.
field.
but
Kirk's
I wouldn't.
ready.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
sure
be
he is.
surprised.
What?
Well, I just wouldn't be
Is he not-
surprised if
We
Renee-
haven't seen him play a single snap in game speed.
I just wouldn't be surprised if
But he's
Renee
gonna. He's
moves
starting.
Goff
Yes.
or Cousins for I don't know, somebody like I don't know. She might move one of those guys. I think having really good QBs is really important, and like Goff and
You're right.
Trevor Lawrence could
I
score
think
100 points.
This is a great quarterback room if you replace Kirk with any other quarterback that has a chance to start.
Baker.
Like you could do perfect. You could
I
do
don't
just Goff and Trevor, and it would still be an awesome quarterback room.
I would rank it the same. If you have just 2 of those.
There you go. That's fine.
I would have rather her spent one of those $20 quarterback budgets on running back. But no, I mean, or
Like,
a
having
tight
a
end.
$20 quarterback's a very
I mean,
tradable guy.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huge.
I
I
think
wouldn't
she
be
is fine
surprised
at
if
running
she-
back.
I think so too.
You think she's fine with Joe? And
Oh.
she sure could. Oh, I forgot Mostert.
It's start 2.
I do have her. Hey, I gave her 3.5 in a running back room.
Yeah, I
it's
think it's
fine.
fine.
It's just ranked 9. That's all.
I think
I will tell you
she
the NFC has stronger teams than the AFC. So it's not even that she has a bad team. It's just I think there's a lot better teams in the NFC versus AFC. I didn't notice it, but that's what it looks like to me.
So I admit that my AFC, I'm more happier with my AFC rankings than my NFC rankings. I admit they are questionable, but I have the Panthers at 6.
I would say
Okay.
6 is about where I would put her as well. Somewhere in that.
Who do you guys have at 9?
My 9 is the Cardinals.
Okay,
I thought we just did 9.
Okay.
By the way, 6
Pickle?
through 9 are the same rankings.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, who do you have, Pickle?
I said Earl.
Oh, okay. Then who do you have at 8?
It's kind of a toss up for me, but it would be. I think I'd probably lean. And we already talked about them, but I would lean the Bears just because I don't think they've got the QB room. I know their running backs are studs. I know they've got some good wide receivers, but I would have them in the bottom half.
Well, we talked about Jordan's Bears for a while. So,
Yeah, we did.
Kyle, you have who at 8?
Saints.
Yeah,
Maybe too.
that's what I have.
Say
at 8.
something. Say something about the Saints.
It's Stroud and nothing behind him. It's pretty decent young RBs. Great trio of wide receiver and Mandrews.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be starting C.J. Stroud, and I would probably start
Trash.
Daniel Jones over
Honestly,
Derek Carr.
Drew Lock might be his quarterback too by the end of the year. Like
Could be. You know what? I don't mind Daniel Jones
I
at
think
all as
I think
I
he's
would
a
want him as
lot
my third.
he's a lot better for fantasy than he is for NFL, and that scares me because this is the first year they have a real backup for him.
So he'll be starting C.J. Stroud and let's say Daniel Jones or Derek Carr.
Yeah, I don't.
Then James Cook, Pacheco. He's got James Conner, James Cook, Pacheco, Tajee Spears.
Yeah, Spears. I would say
Nico
you treat
Collins.
Spears exactly the same as Pollard this year.
Nico Collins. But see, it's Nico Collins and CeeDee Lamb, and then DJ Moore. DJ Moore. Sorry. Yeah.
And then
not
if
bad,
you're
but no one behind him.
I would say Romeo Dobbs is a good wide receiver 4.
He's a good.
I would say he's not.
He's a good 4.
He scored almost 200 points last year. I think that's great for a bye week.
Yeah, but I mean, bro, Reed and Christian Watson was barely on the field. Now they got who's in their backfield? Josh Jacobs. He's catching passes.
Less than AJ. Less than AJ.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
AJ was a wide receiver basically.
That was
Aaron Jones, of course,
anyway,
not AJ
we
Dillon.
actually all had Saints at the same ranking.
Nice.
And then 7, pardon me, 7. I have the Rams.
For me, it was Seahawks.
All clustered in.
Interesting. Yeah, maybe I just fucked up my rankings. I have the Rams much higher.
I actually had the Rams pretty high as well.
I do too.
Yeah.
Rams are solid. Jaden Daniels.
We'll tease. We'll get there.
Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Tua. I mean, that's amazing.
I'm a lot.
Jamar Gibbs and Kenneth Walker.
Yes. Yep.
Thank you.
And good wide receivers.
Definitely has like some gaps in receiver. I'll give him that.
I think
Diggs,
it's fine.
Zay Flowers. No, it's not fine. Josh Palmer.
Okay. It's
okay.
very
Cortland Sutton. Okay. Jameson Williams.
It's a very average QB room, aside from Diggs. I just think
Cole Kmet.
Diggs is the guy. Yeah, that's whatever I said was wrong.
So
he does have Keon Coleman. He does have Jalen Wright. But I
think Steve is better than you have him ranked. I don't know that they're.
Maybe I gave him too much for Coleman being like a wide receiver 4, but I think it's a well-rounded team with no clear strengths other than, well, quarterbacks are good, but no clear strengths at flex. But no
I have him ranked at 7th. His score also was 5th out of the AFC. So I think he's got a good team. At 6, I have Seattle Earl. Who do you have as 6, Kyle?
Panthers. That was the Goff Trevor Lawrence team.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Renee.
Pickle.
I kind of in that 4, 5, 6. I actually is where I would put San Francisco, kind of in that 5, 6 range.
Me. Okay. Yep. Okay. Detroit, I have at 5.
Okay.
Mitch, I will say a little something. Very well-rounded team. Yep. I like your tight ends. I gave a 5, but
have to.
Shut the fuck up.
But I mean, Jordan love him, but you got Rodgers and Russ behind him. We're not super thrilled, but could be very fine as you're in NDL scoring.
So Russ did great last year against all odds. Like we talk shit about him, but I think he finished a quarterback 1, top 12. And on the chance that Russell Wilson gets benched, he's got the backup. And
he does have Fields.
Also popped off last year, to a lesser degree, but we know what Fields can do.
I think he popped off to a lesser degree.
He didn't do it all year. I think there was like a stretch where he really went crazy in fantasy. Yeah, I don't think he did it all year.
He had a couple of like banging weeks. Weeks 4 and 5 last year were really solid, and then he was injured. And he closed relatively strong.
Jordan Love went fucking nuclear in the second half. So I mean, extrapolate that across the whole season. He's even crazier.
Jordan Love actually started last year very well.
Terrible.
He started it really well.
Oh, maybe in fantasy it was different. It looked bad on the field.
Yes, but fantasy-wise, it was very good.
I didn't own any Jordan Love last year.
His first 3 weeks, he had 7 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Okay.
So I thought actually on the field was great and fantasy was great. And then he had like
that middle of the season he was weak.
Yeah, he had like 4 or 5 down weeks and then he closed out the year.
I'm misremembering, but yeah.
A lot of people thought he started the
first
year
too.
terrible, but his first 3 weeks were really good.
I think maybe that's the revisionist history. Anyways,
Justin Fields
he went nuts second half.
He did.
Well, no, he went nuts weeks 4 and 5, and 14.
I would say
16
that's
and 17.
pretty nuts.
It's a good time for a QB to start heating up.
At any rate, I wouldn't hate handcuffing Russell Wilson with this.
I'd hope that
$8?
Russell gets benched.
Yeah.
And Fields starts.
Russell will get benched.
I don't care who starts.
Right, I know.
I want them to be a definitive starter instead of this. Well, we're gonna pull you after the first half.
Yeah. Or you just always get it wrong.
That would blow so hard.
They should see your starting lineup except for bye weeks.
What?
They should not see your starting lineup except for bye weeks.
That's what I was gonna say. I think Aaron Rodgers is. I'm not saying he's the man, but people are like, can he make the throws? When have we seen him not do that?
Exactly.
Who even needs an Achilles?
Well, here's what I'm saying though. Like if you miss
he's a great quarterback.
If you miss the season after the 4th snap, great. You just got a whole year to recover as a 45-year-old person.
Okay, chill the fuck up, bro.
40.
What the?
Okay. As a 40-year-old person, you just got a whole year of no wear and tear.
It's still 40 years old.
But at 37 and 38, he's winning league MVP.
Spit it out, bro.
Yeah.
Like
he's gonna be fine.
He at 39.
I think he'll be fine.
He had kind of a down year with the Packers, especially compared to going MVP. And it was because the Packers O-line sucked and they had no defense. So he was constantly on the field. And at 39, that's a little tough. The Jets have a much better O-line. They have a way better defense than he's had in 5, 6, 7 years. I don't think Rodgers is like, I didn't really want to win him at $19 because I felt like I could get him less. It was an accidental nomination. But like, I think he's my starting QB week 1 with Jordan Love.
I'm curious how if they're going to go out and gunsling, or we just want you to manage the game because we don't need you to go out and win a game.
But he can't.
It's gonna look a lot like 2021 Packers.
What, Adrian?
He's got the experience to manage a game, regardless.
He's so smart.
Whether he does audibles or not, he knows what the defense is going to do. Just like Brady was. I mean, he's a great quarterback. If he didn't hurt his Achilles, we wouldn't be talking about this.
It's the same situation as Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones.
Listen, his IQ is too good to where he's going to know if he can't do it, he's not going to go make himself look like an idiot out on the field either. And he's not going to just hang in there.
Yeah.
You remember how bad Peyton Manning was? It was egregious. It was so disgusting. He hung in there. I don't see Aaron Rodgers' pride, just taking the field if he can't do it. And I think he's going to know right through preseason if he can do it or not.
He's made a living. He's made a living being a great QB, but he's so accurate. Nothing about tearing your Achilles means that you've all of a sudden lost the ability to throw an accurate football. Like, sure, maybe he can't throw it 60 yards downfield anymore. Great. That's fine.
I'm pretty sure it's his lead foot too, as opposed to Kirk Cousins has torn Achilles on his plant and his throwing foot. Yeah, his back foot.
So
whatever that's called.
Like, I'm in on Rodgers this year. It's not why I got him for $19. I would have liked. I think he could have gone for way less than 19, even when he.
I don't think you meant to get him.
We should not be out on Aaron Rodgers if we are in on Garrett Wilson, and I don't know any people that are not in on Garrett Wilson.
Correct. Who do you got at 5, Kyle?
My 5. Well, okay, this is fucked. So it's the Bucks. I would probably, if I could do it again, I would push them down, and my 5 would be Panthers.
Panthers. Okay, we spoke about Renee's team.
I
think
put
I
the
should
Bucks
be
at 7
higher
if I
on
could do it
Renee's
again.
team as well. Then you got who at 5, Pickle?
I would start bringing in a conversation Rizzo's team.
Rizzo.
Which one's
okay.
Rizzo?
That'd be the Vikings.
Vikings. Okay.
Yeah, speak on Rizzo's team. I have him third.
Really,
I like his team a lot.
really strong team.
I'm going to reserve what I
The only
have
thing
Rizzo
is
at.
he's
Wide
got Evans
receiver-
and Godwin.
Yeah, wide
I don't know if I like that.
wide receiver and tight end is lacking. I'm not sure if I'm not saying like Noah Fant could actually be pretty solid, and Jake Ferguson's not bad.
Oh, well, what's
I
wrong with
like Jake
Ferguson?
Ferguson
I have
a lot.
Ferguson as a tight end 1.
Oh, easy though.
Yeah,
Top 12. Yeah,
I would. I
I
would
guess,
say
I guess that's true. That's true. Sorry. Wide receiver.
Let's
He's
not
lacking.
forget Kittle last year.
He's got
Yeah.
he's got Brees Hall at running back. I don't think that anybody else in there. I don't know about Najee.
Najee. It's not
I
bad.
love Najee this year.
I don't know.
I do
I've
too.
never liked Najee.
Hey
don't
man,
know.
Arthur Smith's offense. What are we
Watch-
talking about?
Watch
big-
Najee go.
He's a big.
Adrian, how do you feel about Najee this year?
He needs
him.
an amazing line to run
Of
behind.
course you do.
Have
you
they
piece of shit.
improved that line?
I don't know.
Who is it?
I don't think they did.
Pittsburgh? No, they did not.
No.
Well,
He legitimately
just
has.
having Russell back there is going to help the offensive line. It's
And-
because Pickett was there and they were loading the box.
Yep. And if it's
Yeah.
Fields, it'll be even better.
Nobody was afraid of Pickett.
I
you
think
got a good
Josh
quarterback.
Allen
Steelers are
behind there
afraid of
and-
Pickett.
and
Yeah.
Josh Allen and Justin Herbert.
And guess what? He's struggling as the
Team.
backup at Eagles camp. Who would have thought it?
Brees Hall and Najee is a great 1-2.
Yes.
The problem is he doesn't have anyone behind him, but
Yes.
he has, arguably the RB1. No one would be surprised if he finishes first overall. Tyler Algier, I think he's going to get looks. I wouldn't be bummed about starting him on my bye weeks. They keep coming out and saying it. This is a shared backfield.
Well, here's
Now, let's
here's the
hope it's not
problem right
super
now.
shared.
Talking earlier, week 12, he's starting Alexander Madison
Yeah.
and
That's-
Najee
that's
Harris.
tough.
Could be the starter back.
Okay, so here's
Yeah,
the
but we don't
counter
know
argument
who
to
he's playing in week 12. His week 12 opponent could be really hurting too.
Here's the
Well,
counter argument to the Algier conversation. The running backs coach, or is it the
Yay.
offensive coordinators? I can't remember which one.
Bears.
They are from the Rams coaching tree, and guess what the Rams do with running backs? They feed the
RBG.
shit out of one guy. And
Mhm.
guess who they have at running back?
Yeah, well, they keep coming out and saying that we're not giving everything to Bijan.
Well, they also
hopefully
said they're
that's-
going to treat him like CMC. So, I mean, you can't have it both ways.
Did they? I didn't see
Yes,
that,
yes,
but I
they
just
did.
saw them talk about Bijan that they're not giving him everything.
Yeah.
CMC gets everything for the most part. So I got myself at 4. Who do you guys have at 4?
I have the Lions at 4. I think their Pickles team is just very well rounded, no weaknesses. Not the strongest at any point, but definitely strong at every point.
I think he may be the strongest at or among the strongest at tight end, but I have him 3.5, 3.5, 3.5 at quarterback, running back, wide receiver. I think we talked about his team. My team, it's fine. I'm not super thrilled about my tight end room. I like Ingram a lot. That's great. Obviously,
You
I
had
wanted to
Higbee.
upgrade it. I had Higbee. Thanks. I ended up
Where'd he
dropping him
go?
right after,
Sorry.
to hell.
I
I'm
like your team a lot.
suspect.
Yeah.
I don't know about Caleb Williams. I mean, you just don't know. I know what people are saying. He's the next best thing since whatever.
Just watch him.
Since
I
Trevor
would.
Lawrence.
But like,
I would.
we've seen this song and dance a lot in the last 4 years. Where
The
this
101 typically does pretty well.
who
No, incorrect. That is
Bryce
not true.
Young?
we've seen
Bryce Young was an
I'm sorry,
oopsie.
Kenny Pickett wasn't 101.
We've seen Bryce Young. Who was the year
Just-
Mac Jones, Trey Lance?
I want you to.
Trubisky, 102.
I want you to get
right before Zach.
pickle.
I'm
Just go
Zach Wilson.
Go to YouTube and search Caleb.
The
Any
the-
game. Don't look at highlights.
Johnny
Just-
Manziel looked amazing in college.
Well,
Tim
well,
Tebow was
his-
amazing in college.
Sure.
Neither of them were 101s.
Trubisky
Sure.
looked
Guys.
amazing in college.
Guys, if we're talking Caleb down, we're just being idiots.
I'm not
I
talking him down. I'm saying you
No,
can't.
you weren't. You weren't, but
in-
they
No,
they
saying
were
in
saying
Pickles-
like there's an out.
Hold on.
your
in Pickles'
expectations are
defense-
too high.
No,
is
my
all that.
expectations are $57. That's not too high.
Yeah, it is.
In Pickles' defense, the 101 hit rate is a lot lower than you'd think it is.
Hey, hold
It's-
on one sec. Zach, to be fair, you don't know anything about Caleb Williams, and that's okay. But since you don't know anything about Caleb Williams, you can't say that $57 is an overpay.
For
$57
all
is-
rookies, $57 is an overpay.
No, incorrect.
Wow.
I think
So
I
you gotta
I
at
have
least- you got to at least know a bit about the player, right? And now a wide receiver, someone going in round 2, we're spending too much. Back half of the first round, little suspect. I get it, but we're talking about a very, very good athlete. We're talking about a Mahomes type of athlete.
who
I'm not calling him Mahomes. I'm talking about a Mahomes level athlete.
I
at the
actually
quarterback position.
I don't
Allegedly.
think Caleb is Mahomes at all. I actually think Caleb's closest comp is Aaron Rodgers. Semantics, but
He doesn't do. Caleb's out here making passes that Aaron Rodgers can't get his body to do.
excuse me.
No,
Yeah, no. I'm talking like peak
I
prime
understand.
Rodgers.
I understand throwing against the throwing the opposite side. I get it. He was fine. Caleb's doing it like looking like Mahomes, though. I'm not saying he's Mahomes. I'm saying at $57, that's a
With no
that's a
with no
good deal.
with no NFL defenders coming at him.
Bro, when you're on the run, I mean,
So
Here's-
well, the
who's
counter
the
argument
last-
to that
How much
is he
faster
had
in the NFL.
he had
I mean,
no offensive line
I
at
think he's gonna be
USC.
good, but I think his first year may.
Yeah.
be
when
something.
his weapons are Keenan Allen, Odunze, and DJ Moore, he doesn't even
Don't
have to
forget
light it
DeAndre
on
Swift.
fire.
His
Don't you
offensive line
forget
fucking
Swift.
sucks this year, so we'll see what happens.
Bro,
It's no
he
different than
scrambles
USC.
Too. He's got
No
legs
different than
too.
USC.
I'm
Just-
just
just-
saying. I'm saying as a guy. I mean,
Temper
who's the last?
expectations.
Who's the last 101 that came in the
Right.
league and lit it up right away?
Andrew Luck.
Tempered
Andrew Luck.
expectations.
Baker.
So
Baker.
I'm saying
Oh,
I'm
but
saying-
he lit up 1 year.
I'm
He
just
did
saying
one
like,
one year.
for a this year contending team, you're banking. I mean, if Caleb Williams doesn't light it on fire, I don't think this team contends.
Oh, we don't
I-
plan. We plan on him to struggle. We plan on him to struggle
that's
a
what
bit.
I'm saying. That's why I.
So would I
can't
rather
predict
have a
super high.
$49 Tua or a 57 Caleb? I'm
Or
taking a
36
$57
Daniel.
Caleb.
Yeah.
Tua had
I-
450 fantasy points in this.
I think
last year. I think
Oh, he
Everyone's
was like
talking
the
ab-
number one in whatever yards or something. I can't remember what he was number one in, but no, he was amazing. But I would
Yeah.
still invest in Caleb at $57 for just the hope, right?
Absolutely.
Remember what we're going for isn't
And then you're
to a
dogging me about Knicks at 20 and JJ McCarthy at 20 for a hope.
Yeah,
Bro, those
the
are-
only
I'm not even.
I feel like it's
a lock.
McCarthy's not. Their team's not even saying he's starting. That's
It
what I'm
doesn't-
saying.
Now he's not. No, but
Well,
once he
that's-
becomes
The
a starter,
hope is-
We're power
it's
ranking.
gonna be
Yeah.
Arnold, and it's
We're power
$20.
ranking.
You got a starting quarterback with JJ and Addison, and at $20. Woo!
I
Hawkinson.
think
Don't forget Hawkinson.
I think
And Hawkinson.
Caleb for
So
me is the
don't
only
bash those
quarterback,
$20
the only
quarterbacks.
rookie.
It's
Caleb's the only rookie quarterback that stands better than decent odds at being a quarterback one this year. All the
I
other
like
ones are
Jaden
long
Daniels.
shots at best. No,
I like Jaden
I don't think
Daniels.
it's happening.
I don't think he needs to do all that much to be a top 12 quarterback. When he's going to probably be running for 700-800 yards.
He had two of the best wide receivers in the entire country last year, and he
And I
still
didn't even-
scrambled half of the time. He scrambled
Yeah.
50% of all plays. Scramble, not a design run, a scramble. He's
Did you
not
watch
good at
much of
reading.
LSU games?
He's not good at
Did you
what?
watch much of LSU
I don't need
games?
to. That he scrambled 50% of all plays. 50%. That's absurd.
We play a fantasy game, and those rushing yards are
Right
worth
there
his
is
time.
where I think of Cam Newton, Kyler Murray.
I love him. I loved them
Alright.
all for fantasy.
I hate that style for me personally. I don't like
Right.
that style for fantasy because it doesn't
We
have
don't have to
longevity.
like it.
It doesn't
Look at
have
Jalen
longevity.
Hurts. It doesn't need to.
He's
No,
a good
you
draft
need to
pick.
I
have
don't
them
care
on
about-
the 2 to 3 good years that they have them, and then you need to get rid of them.
So get rid of them.
Yeah.
And then they're going to outscore most
I don't know.
everyone.
We'll
when
see
they're-
what
when they're
Jaden
lighting
Daniels
on
is.
fire.
I
You
think
did say
Caleb
the
is going to be
same
the
thing
best
about
quarterback this year.
Justin Fields.
I know.
You were saying
Well,
the
yeah, he's
same thing
projected,
about
yeah.
Justin Fields.
I was, and when he's on the field, he's scoring. He just can't get on the field. Not anymore. Also, if this was a contract year for Fields, he would have, and he wasn't just, if he was a free agent, he would have had a team. He would have, there was plenty of teams. I think.
Well, he
I
wanted
could
to go
have
to
been
the
wrong.
Steelers.
Well,
Okay.
I'd probably
So
want to go
we
to
just
the Steelers.
we
too.
just did
Either
4.
way.
Let's get back on track here.
I have
who
Rizzo
is
at
number
3.
3?
We
I
talked
have the
about
Rams at
Rizzo.
3.
Rams, we talked about. Pickle.
I'd probably have the Rams at 3. We kind of talked about that a little bit.
I
Who's
have
2?
We already talked about it. I should probably have Chicago lower. I could flip flop with maybe even Pickle, because they're pretty close in number for me by 1 point. But who do you guys have at 2?
I have the 49ers. Nice job, Jay.
Thanks.
I have Brian, the Falcons.
Bro, I have the Falcons at 1.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about your 2. Well, that's Atlanta. How about that, Pickle?
All right, Brian, see you in the Super Bowl.
Dude, I like Brian's team a lot. I got him 4s across the board, 4.5 at quarterback.
Wait, where do you have the Cardinals, Pickle?
Cardinals, I had like 10, 11, 12.
Okay,
One of
I
those
remember the
3
wrong
teams.
team. You had the. I'm sorry, Jay. Where'd you have at number 2?
Falcons.
2,
Card-
I have Chicago.
Falcons. I'm sorry. Okay, Falcons.
But I have the Falcons at 1.
At 1.
Who
Okay.
do you have at 1 then?
I had the Vikings at 1.
I don't even blame you. They're
I think the NFC,
They're
the
solid.
top half, is way tighter than the AFC.
yeah. Me too. Yeah, I have that.
I have Minnesota 3rd in the division.
Minnesota. Okay, let's talk about your division, Adrian.
But based on
Wait.
all
Who
your
do you have at second?
Wait, you have 3rd in the division?
Chicago.
based on all of your rankings,
Chicago.
that's
Who's
a
at
tight,
first? Oh,
that's
the
a tight
Lions.
division, except for the Packers.
Oh, chill the fuck out with the slander, okay?
You did this to yourself.
I look,
But yeah,
I don't like
I
that.
have
I don't
them
like
all
having
clustered too.
2 receivers on the same team. Evans and Godwin.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I don't mind it if it's Ayuk and Debo because they finished wide receiver 12 and 13 last year.
Yeah,
but
but
I
it's
agree
not-
with you. I
not
agree
the
with you
same
that
off-
Evans
yeah.
and Godwin is
Yeah.
not a good 1-2.
I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I don't mind it at all.
And I
I
don't
had-
think Evans
Guys,
repeats
Baker's
last year.
back. Right?
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
it's a different
Well-
offensive system.
So it is less about having both and more about how good Evans is for me. I think Evans is wide receiver 1 again this year.
oh,
I think the entire Bucks organization is going to make sure Evans gets another 1,000 yards from scrimmage.
And I
Or
think
1,000 receiving
Godwin is a great wide receiver 3. Awesome, regardless of
I
if
do
you are
too.
doubling up.
and he's got Jalen Waddle. Chris Godwin doesn't even need to
Yeah.
start.
Jalen Waddle
does.
is an
And-
outside
Oh, he
shot,
does.
and
You're
also
right.
a wide receiver 1.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he does need to start.
So that's what I did.
DeMarcus- Go ahead.
Mine are based off of start 10, so that's why I'm saying he's third.
Okay. Say the divisions.
So NFC North, we have Detroit 1, Chicago 2, Minnesota 3, Green Bay 4. I got Detroit 1 in the division, obviously. South, I have Atlanta 1, winning the division. I got
Mhm.
Carolina 2, Saints 3, Tampa Bay 4. In the West, I actually have the Rams 1, San Francisco 2,
I don't blame it, dude.
Seattle 3, Arizona 3, and Seattle 4.
Adrian and
I have
I,
Carolina winning the wild card.
You have Arizona over Seattle.
aside from Arizona, Seattle, Adrian and I had the exact same rankings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Arizona, it's a really
Who's your other wild card?
tough team.
Adrian.
Carolina.
who's the other? There's 2 wild cards.
San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah,
If
as
I
soon
could
as
do it again, I would flip the Falcons and the Bucks on my board. I
I
am sorry
think
about
you
the
got that
Falcons.
right.
I
Thank
just got
you.
I have a rage boner against MHJ.
dude,
At cost. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
but-
different. Go ahead.
I don't even mind his $56 cost.
Ah,
I don't even
hate
care.
I hate it.
Sometimes you gotta listen. We're not trying to just make the playoffs.
But
We're trying to build a team
Here's the thing.
to win
If
the title.
MJH does Justin Jefferson,
CD Lamb,
Jamar Chase,
Amon
CD
Ra.
Lamb stuff, everyone's fine with that.
But
if he does,
But if
we
he's
just
Jordan
plan on-
Addison,
we just plan
Alright,
on
you're
that, though.
okay. You're not happy.
Here's gonna make you all angry. This is
He's not
is what I have. Marvin Harrison is not even my wide receiver 2 in the class.
Oh God, you're the worst.
It's
I
it's
don't
kind
know
of the
about
same argument about Caleb Williams and MHG. I mean, if you're gonna spend $57 on Caleb, I mean,
that's the guy you got to do it on.
but I mean,
You said he's not even though. So he's your wide receiver 3.
He is my wide receiver 3.
Behind Malik.
So you have Neighbors, Odunze, Marv.
It's Neighbors, Adunze, Marv, and that's pre-draft. Post-draft, it gets a little more convoluted. He's my wide receiver 2 post-draft.
There's just no way. There's
I'm
just
just
no
saying.
way. Once he's
Just
on,
saying.
once Kyler throwing to him in that offense.
Okay, so you know the Jerry Jeudy is the new Antonio Brown conversation we had several years ago, and it turns out that was way wrong. I think.
No, I don't remember that.
I don't either.
It was several years ago.
Well, we all thought that Jerry Jeudy was the hottest shit. He got drafted in the top 3, a lot of times top 4 at the worst. And we were letting CeeDee Lamb drop to 108, 107. I forget where he went in some drafts, but that's where I was seeing it
Maybe
flip.
some people were doing that, but we didn't have Lamb.
I don't think Marvin Harrison is the best prospect to come out in the last 20 years. I don't think he's even close. I think he's
But
great
20 years
in a
is
good
long
class.
He doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to be.
If he didn't
we're-
have his
But we're
name,
drafting him like it. We're
if
drafting
you
him
di-
like
if-
he
If
is.
he didn't have his name, would you still think as highly of him?
Oh yeah,
No,
he
I think
destroyed defenses. Now that's all we have, right? His college prospect, him as a college prospect. That's all we got.
I think if he doesn't have his name, this is not really related, but like he's
Pickle?
probably not getting the treatment he got his entire life if he doesn't have.
Yeah, I
his name.
agree.
Like he's not
But-
given he's not even given opportunities to do anything if he doesn't have his name. So
I don't think the
No,
name
guys. You
I don't
guys
think
are
the
not
name is what-
watching. You're not watching film if you guys are talking like this about Marv. You
I
guys
think
need
Neighbors
to watch.
and Odunze are better prospects.
Pickle, you've been saying a lot of smart things. But
I'm just saying
you can't speak on the rookies though because you haven't looked into them. And
I can say
Marv
they
is
have no NFL experience.
destroying defenses.
I can say they have no NFL experience. We've seen so
Yeah, but
many guys.
That's
like-
okay.
But like
I'm not
Zach
saying-
said,
Okay.
Listen, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's not amazing, but we've seen so many guys in college destroy college defenses, and then there's just a hump in the NFL. I'm not saying
Not like this.
I'm not saying Marvin Harrison is not going to be
Two
amazing.
things.
He's
I'm
a
just saying
he's a
can't-
special
You
player.
just can't know right now. I think spending as much as people are spending in a startup draft for a guy that's never seen the NFL is a little absurd. Does that
that's
mean,
what-
does that
every
mean
time.
that means that I'm going to miss on guys like JJ and Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb because I'm not going to spend $50 on a guy.
And that's
I'm
a
never gonna
valid.
have Marvin Harrison.
That's
what it's
valid.
worth,
I'm okay
Justin
with
Justin Jefferson was like a 109, 110 in his rookie draft. So it's not like we were
I think-
drafting him like God's gift to earth.
below
And
that.
the paying that much,
that. Remember
Pickle,
a lot
is
of hype around
is a
Jefferson.
valid argument. Not wanting to pay that much, I get it. But saying that he's not an amazing rookie prospect,
He can. That's fine. We can say prospect, but we can't
yeah,
talk.
and
about
that's
him.
all. That's all
We
he is
can't-
right now.
We can't talk about him like he's actually done anything in the NFL.
Well, no one would, right?
I mean,
We're not
that's how-
stupid.
Well, that's how people are talking about him.
No,
Yeah,
we're-
and how he was
Then
drafted.
those people aren't smart.
If you're
But
paying 50 plus in these types of leagues for a guy that is a prospect, then I don't think you're valuing him as
we
a
got an
prospect.
earthquake.
Oh, that's
be
fun.
good, bud.
I saw your bookshelf wiggle. Is it the big one?
Not so far.
That's actually kind of a long one.
It is a long one. Still
I
great.
just,
yes,
like
Okay.
so like that's like my stance on
paying
those things.
paying that capital and cap in a
That's
startup.
tough. Yeah, I agree.
Can I,
just
can
think
I
that's
get on
why
my
I said
soapbox
paying
here?
more than $30 for a guy that's never seen the field. It's hard to do. Hard for me to.
Hard to do is fine.
Think
I
about.
can't.
I mean, I'm
How
not.
much
I'm,
did CD
I'm not
go
saying.
for an
I'm not
NFC?
saying remotely. Like,
NFC, he went for 57.
Oh,
No, he went for
Renee.
60.
I'm
You
not
feeling it,
saying.
Renee?
I'm not saying a guy like
Just getting it,
That was
yeah.
a biggie.
a few years ago.
Decent.
It was many years ago, but like
60
N'Keal
flat.
Harry. And I'm not saying Marvin Harrison and N'Keal Harry are the same type of player or the same type of profile, or
Right.
even close to the same type of prospect.
That was a disappointment.
But some of these guys, they get talked way too highly. They get touted as if they are as sure as whatever, and it's just like I got to see it on the NFL field before
To
I'm
pay
willing,
the price.
in order
Yes,
to pay
Kyle.
that price. I'll
Can I have
draft.
the talking stick?
If I have the 101, I'm probably taking Harrison. Right?
Okay.
It's not like he's not.
You're wrong. Okay, I would like to talk now. So, two things. I think of the three, the top,
Talking all night.
of the three,
Sorry,
Marvin
Scott.
Harrison is the least polished of the prospects. Also, he's the worst of the three at attacking at the catch point. He basket catches sometimes over his head instead of like actually going for the ball with his hands. To
When you say you didn't
explain
watch film,
in context, I think this is probably the best class since 2014 for wide receiver. So him at wide receiver 3 is not necessarily calling him a jag. It's just saying that I think he's not the best prospect in the class.
So
And when he's
Marvin
going,
Harrison.
you're probably
he's going-
thrilled to get Roma Dunze at $16 then.
yes, I'm ecstatic. When he's going $20 more than any other non-quarterback
Yes,
rookie,
tough pill. Yeah.
that's where I have the problem.
Brian wanted him. He wanted the stack. He had to pay
Guy.
for him. That's just how it was.
I
I
also think he overpaid for Kyler Murray. So
how much was Kyler?
65.
I mean,
False.
here's the thing. I'm talking about like this guy Brian is like way overpaying, but I have him ranked the best in the conference. Right?
Yeah.
The
It's
good
not
thing
a
is,
So do
fight
I.
team. I
the
just
good thing is, if Marvin Harrison is a bust, he's got cap space.
yeah, he's got $38. He's got
So it was
I
a
don't.
very
I don't think
savvy
Marvin
draft.
Harrison can be a bust.
No, I don't
No.
think so either. It was a joke.
People
Well,
might
what
look
is
at
a
him like
bust?
a bust if he doesn't come out as a top
comes
5
out-
wide
he
receiver.
comes out as
I'll
Jordan.
tell
Mack.
you, in underdog, he's going like 112 to 2-2. I mean, that's
think
So
it
that's
was-
a
he needs to be a
consensus
top 10
community.
wide receiver to not bust.
Yeah.
That's a high bar.
Yeah, I don't. I think he.
Well,
Maybe not
that's
year one,
redraft.
but
I mean,
he's gonna be better in top 10.
He's $2 cheaper than Jamar Chase, or Jamar Chase is $3 more expensive than him, and Justin Jefferson is $5 more expensive. So when you're looking
Yeah.
at that, it's just it's
Paying
That's
him,
tough.
it is
paying him
it
top
is high.
5 wide
Yeah.
receiver.
But also Marv went.
It's even
probably
closer
before
in
those guys. I think
in
he
NFC.
won Marv. He won Marv really early because he had Kyler and Marv
I think
really
he was.
early,
I think
and then
he was
he
the
only had those two players.
first.
Kyle.
Yeah.
He was the first or very close to the first wide receiver at like the top wide receiver on the board.
Yeah,
Zach's
and
gonna look it up,
That
but
bumped up the price.
That is-
Brian.
That is true.
But
Where
hey,
they
if
get-
he's
where they
if he's
get
the top
nominated.
spot prospect,
Brian
then
said
he-
it's a bet. Cap space and productive players.
Marvin
can
Harrison was
move off.
nominated
Doesn't work.
before Justin Jefferson.
See, and that
af-
so it's easy. It's easy to
Brian.
compare them
After
right
Chase
now.
and
The
Lamb.
salaries.
I don't know.
Right
if
After
now,
Brian,
Chase
but-
and Lamb, before Jefferson.
I don't know if Brian
On the
heard or
NFC.
not, but like we all ranked you as the best team in the conference. So
Oh,
like,
he's been watching the whole
okay,
time.
I say nobody's saying you don't
Uh,
have a great team.
Who's not great?
Oh,
for
he
us?
doesn't. He
Harrison
doesn't
and
take
Jefferson.
anything
he's just saying
personally either.
he's
We're getting
betting on
sidetracked.
him. I mean, he likes the guy. He's betting on him. So I mean, that's
Mhm.
we all do that.
Th-
Yeah,
I mean, we all bet
for
on
Brian,
certain guys that we like.
just
and
just for what it's
sometimes
worth,
they
my
work,
NFC
sometimes they
rankings are kind of fucked. So, you should probably listen to them instead of me.
I
Kyle had you like 10th team
At 11, I had him at 11, and I regret it already. I don't think he's my. He's still not my top team.
One
Yeah.
of 40 leagues. You
Yeah.
experiment.
Yes, we know.
Yeah.
You're in
And
a-
this is him cutting down
Yeah, he's
big time. He said, "I don't care."
he's better at fantasy than I am. He's better at fantasy than I am.
He is very good. I saw it happening. I saw it unfolding the entire draft. I'm swearing at him and just seeing him build a really great team. So
Slow
well done.
playing.
Hey guys, I'm ending stream. This
Okay.
was super fun.
2
What do you
hours.
want to do next? Which league next?
Why don't we just
Maybe
go
Zach.
top to bottom? We'll do SF2
Hey,
next.
did we
Okay.
talk about? I mean, anything
Draft
important?
is on Saturday.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh,
a slow league.
rookies.
It's a
Ooh,
slow draft.
maybe. So look, we'll put this
For the
out.
new guys,
We just drafted, right? SF3. I wanted to get that out. We got a bunch of new guys. Maybe they'll watch this. Maybe no one will. Maybe this is just for us. I love it all. But I wanted to get this out for everyone. You know, we all did. We were all itching to get this out for the new guys and for us after after the new startup. But now maybe let's pivot into rookie season. We'll get some rookies in. We'll do a rookie show. And then maybe we'll
Yes.
power rank the rest of the teams when it's kind of a dead period during like the
After the
preseason
draft.
games.
I can't rank
I like
until
it.
after the draft.
I like
For
it.
Yeah.
for NDL 32, CJ, you've got the 101. I got the 102. Feel free to take neighbors.
Yeah.
Let
He
Harrison
won't be.
fall. Let Harrison.
I offered
Go get
him
Herdo Dunze is really the guy in this draft. So take him at 101.
I offered him the 104 and 105 and he was like, nah. And he desperately needs quarterback, which most positive Caleb will be there.
Yeah, well, he will be at 101. They're taking that's a Jake and CJ co-owned. They told
Yeah, I
me months
know.
ago they're taking Harrison, no doubt.
Yeah, I know. I keep trying, but all right, guys, much love to you.
Yeah,
Hope you guys are great.